Nice, I'll use it. Good pickup. Gauntlgrym, I think that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah. Hello, everybody, and welcome.
I say. Let's see.
Okay, sorry. Once again, sorry, guys. There you go, Will. Take it from here.
Was I muted as well?
Yep.
Okay, brilliant. Hello and welcome, everybody. I am Will, and we are playing our first episode of Out of the Abyss today. As you can see,
sorry.
the
Once
production
again, sorry,
quality is
guys.
really high.
There you go.
But we have the book Out of the Abyss, the new one out just the other week, and we've got a first episode ready. Myth, who are you going to be playing tonight?
I will be playing Orin LightVein.
Ooh,
Yes, he is a
Sexy.
dwarf paladin. So yeah,
awesome.
carries a sword. We'll see why. And yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So hey everyone in chat. Hey, hey Remy, Flim, hey Irving, hey Undead Baron. Good to see you, my friend. Sydney, Doofus Pants. So this adventure leads us into the Underdark. And whilst we only have one player today, we have the rest of our party tomorrow. So this is kind of a episode 0.5 in a way. And so we have Josh and Beth joining us next week. What else is there, Myth? Underdark, yes. So, 24-hour stream is happening on Saturday. Math and TVs and chat is also doing, running some games with us. Where are you guys over here? To play some games, which is going to be really fun to be around. And I'll be giving a copy of the Player's Handbook away on Saturday as well. So come along for that.
Signed by Will.
Signed by myself. See, I don't know if that's just a joke or not, but I may just do it.
No, we'll see what it is.
Yeah.
Probably signed by Will.
Yeah, Irving, Beth is taking a week off. Josh is doing the same. They got new jobs, new work and stuff. So they're back next week. And actually, they're back on Saturday. So you'll see those guys then. And I think other than that, the one thing to note is that this game is actually in the Broken Kingdom lore. Whilst it is the Forgotten Realms lore in the actual official book, in this we're going to be having it in Broken Kingdom. So technically there's still the same gods, the same stuff, the same demon stuff going on as was in our Monday game. So that changes a few things. But other than that, oh nice, we've got a nice map down. We have some maps which we and myself and Twitch chat made the other week ready for Myth tonight, and it's going to be pretty exciting. So tell me a little bit about Orin LightVein, my friend.
This is where I make it up on the fly. Orin LightVein is a, as of right now, we know him as a cleric, or he's an acolyte of Moradin, and the dwarven god. We are in Gauntlgrym, correct?
Yep, you're in Gauntlgrym in the Underdark.
Yep. So he's training with some clerics as a new acolyte. It's pretty late in years. He has a new baby daughter, which I need to name, but Mithrilia is her name.
Okay.
Mithrilia.
Beautiful name.
Not after me, after the metal mithril. So yeah, he.
Yeah.
Narcissist. Well, I didn't realize that after I said it. But yeah, so Mithrilia is probably a couple months old, maybe. Yeah, she's about a year old. Dwarves age fast, so she's anyway. And he's got a lovely wife named
Mithralia.
Mithralia. I don't know.
We'll get a name.
We'll get a name. And so yeah. Anyway, they've been together for a while. Hard times, hard couple. He decided to take a cloak of Moradin. He decided to take a dump, and yeah, and then things changed. That's the end of the story. No, so yeah. So now he's got a new baby daughter, and he's trying this new career. I guess in the as a father of Moradin.
Awesome. So Gauntlgrym is a city in the Underdark, which is controlled by the dwarves. It's the only one in the Underdark controlled by dwarves. The rest are other creatures like the Kuoto and the Drow and mind flayers or all sorts of terrible things which live in the Underdark. But there's a small bastion of hope or Gauntlgrym full of dwarves, and it's actually near the surface. They can get up to the surface from there, but they've reclaimed this city, and it's actually there's a huge forge at the bottom of the city. Below it, in the heart of it, there is a demon. No, sorry, a primordial being, which actually fuels the forge there and allows the dwarves to create great weapons and other works. But for the most part, it's a very small party of dwarves actually in Gauntlgrym. The space to dwarf ratio is pretty low. I mean, they're small people anyway, but there's they are not beleaguered, but they are pretty thinly spread in terms of patrols in the Underdark and defenses. So every dwarf's axe, battle hammer, sword counts, and every shield is important. So when they lose a member, it's a big blow to the defense of the city. So Orin is working with a group of clerics, and he knows that there is a dwarven scout, female dwarf, who's your companion, or at least kind of shield sister is possibly a more fitting term, and her name is Eldrith Feldren, and she is a dwarf with locks of red hair, like a kind of jet red hair, and blood red, in fact. And she's pretty chipper. She keeps the kind of dour atmosphere in Gauntlgrym up a little bit, and the clerics who lead the party here, they appreciate her youth and her her spunk. And I'm going to say that the lead cleric is a man named Lodak, and he's a pretty he's a nice guy. He's a nice dwarf trying to do what he can, but he's not adverse to sending out his shield brethren for a fight. And often there are raids by drow or other creatures, and often the dwarves lead assaults of their own out into the Underdark and just exploratory ventures. And so where would Orin be first thing in the morning?
Orin would probably be first thing in the morning. He'd probably wake up and go check on Mithrilia and see how she is, and probably play with her for a little bit.
Yeah, she's in her imagine stone cots that the dwarves might have,
like a stone crib.
Yeah, a stone crib, and she's probably crying first thing in the morning.
Yeah, he goes up and he just picks her up and hush, little bird, it's all right. And you see, kind of holds her in the crook of his giant muscly arm, and plays with her little button nose and the little wisp of her beard. No, but he starts to
she's growing on young.
Yes, she's gonna have a good one. And so he's starting to play with her and
cool.
Probably try to change her because she's probably been sleeping in her own dump.
Yeah. So what are Orin's kind of tasks? What are his duties in Gauntlgrym? What does he have to do on a daily basis?
On a daily basis, he probably he's like bottom rung priest. So he's getting the other fathers, because he's still training. It's rather embarrassing too, because he's still at such he's older than all of his the same ranking clerics that he is, but I mean he's also older than some, and his beard is longer than some of the clerics that he actually has to tend to. So he assists them with getting candles, folding the draperies for their processions and things like that. He's doing a lot of grunt work, and it's really low pay, if any at all, but he's doing it so he can pay favor to Moradin and pay his duties as as a civilian of Gauntlgrym.
Okay, cool. And hey, Solon. One other thing that we should probably mention is that at 600 followers, which are only four
Yes.
away from, there's a viewer decision. So you guys get to decide anything which happens in our game.
One
Could be
second.
a crack, could be
You keep
some
talking.
drow. I will. So if you haven't already hit that follow button, hit that follow button because you guys get to decide some pretty big thing which could happen. So I am looking forward to that happening and me being able to kill Myth, and not his baby daughter because that's kind of a little bit evil, and I'm never evil. You guys know that. Irving says, which race do you guys think sounds the best for my homebrew, whatever it is I'm making? Human, Lugosian, Seralan, or Dwarf? I don't know what Lugosian and Seralan are, but they sound cool, so I'd go with them. And of course, Dwarves are cool. Humans are cool. We're the best.
Sorry, I had to
You're
get
back.
a fan blowing because it was hot as balls. All right, we're good.
Cool. Yeah, Oren, you probably go about your duties for the day. Some menial work. Your wife, whose name we haven't yet, we should probably name her, shouldn't we?
Yeah, we probably should. Let's figure out a name.
Should we let chat decide? Or
Yeah,
chat
we'll
throw
have
some
chat decide.
suggestions? Female dwarf, that's Myth's wife. Hey Keela, how's it going? If not, I've got a dwarf name generating up. What the first of which is Gauntlgrym, which is a
That is
rather
a
odd
tongue,
name.
That is a tongue tie.
It is. We don't kill PC's daughters here at Counter Roleplay. I mean, I did.
Ferg.
Ferg, as in Fergie.
Fergalicious.
She's with two F's. Ferg. Dahlia. That's a nice
I like
name.
Dahlia.
Dahlia is good.
And Myth, really, like the metal.
Uh-huh.
Or Mithrilla. That sounds probably Mithrilla.
Mithrilla. That's a nice name. Okay. So we have Dahlia and Mithrilla. Olga Pelvis Smasher. Yeah, your wife Dahlia is probably up cooking some food, cooking breakfast. She makes you breakfast. What does she look like? I'll let you decide, because seeing as you married this woman.
Yeah, she has long curly hair, and it's got it's a mixture of kind of like it's got some flecks of red in it, but it's mostly brown, but like red hue. She has a very freckly face and these olive green eyes.
Nice, wonderful. Does Mithralia take after yourself or Dahlia?
Mithrilla,
Okay.
Mithrilla takes over. She takes after. She has my nose, which is adorable because it's a huge nose. But she also has her mother's eyes and her mother's freckles, and she has his dark black hair as well.
Okay, perfect. Mithrilla, Dahlia, Orin. Cool. Interesting. So, you set out a day about your menial work. You probably I've forgotten the name of the dwarf who was in charge.
Eldarif or Lodak?
Lodak. There we go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Lodak. So he probably assembles your group of workers and clerics in the mornings, and you go to the Temple of Moradin, where daily you find your work, and he's there. Lodak's there. He's a big, gruff old dwarf. The full white beard, the moustache, the eyebrows, which are far too long, and bushy. And he's there he's got the symbols of Moradin across him, and he looks very veteran. He's well respected amongst the community and the other dwarves. are there, and he says, "Right, so got a bit of a different one today, lads." And the other dwarves, oh, interesting. And he says, "So we were expecting a caravan through here today, but well, it's late. It's not come. And if we're gonna have the festival of Moradin, then well, we need the supplies."
Right.
So he looks kind of distressed, and he says, "And can he ask the captain for troops to leave Gauntlgrym? So any of you here who will go out then into the depths to find it would be greatly appreciated and compensated by the temple."
Right. Well, he probably raised his hand a little, like, not eager. He's just very like, I guess I'll do it. After he looks around and sees that no one else is kind of raising their hand first, he's just like, I'll do it. And he holds up his fat knobby finger, or knobby hand, and he's just, I'll do it. I just don't have supplies or weaponry or any way to defend myself. I just have the robes. As he points to his robes.
Yeah.
Any of you else will join me? And he points to like the scrawny ones that probably work by his side, or the scrawnier of dwarves.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Sure.
Yes, do it. Lagosians are Lisbon warriors of meritocratic culture. Ceralians are the other race who have yet to physically design, but they're going to be spiritual beings and super high tech. Why not have both? Why not have it all? Mix it up. Oh, nat 20.
Yes, I wasn't even paying attention. Hell yeah. So he's just like, which one of you scrawny little bastards who call yourself Moradin acolytes will follow me into the depths and bring back what we need? This is Gauntlgrym. But yeah, he kicks one of them into a well.
Yeah. You see the little easily bullied one called Fikrus. He's a little blonde dwarf. He's actually an Fikrus. And the first nat 20 of the evening has been rolled. It's an auspicious start to Out of the Abyss, I think. Hey Ray, how's it going? And the little Fikrus, turns to you, like, cowering, and he says, "Hey, I'll come, I guess. I'll come. I ain't got no weaponry, but
I know, but don't worry about it. It's Moradin will guide our path, and will guide our. Don't worry, we'll be fine."
And you hear a voice from behind you. A voice you recognise. It is.
That's awkward. Thank you so much for the host. Sorry, I have that in a weird spot. Okay.
No worries. And hey Ripple, how's it going, Tim? Fikrus cowers, and then you hear Eldrith, the young dwarf scout. She's usually on patrol. The red locks going down, and she's actually quite small even for a dwarf. She's younger than you, and she says, "Are you not going anywhere without me?" And she's there with her shield and her hammer, and she's equipped, and she says, "Hey, how you doing, Orin?"
"I'm doing well, Eldrith. It's very nice to see you, especially all ready and willing to fight for Moradin, unlike the rest of you." Now she's got the spirit. She's got a buckler and a hammer. I think we're ready.
And Fikrus is like nodding in agreement to everything you're saying. He's like, "Hey, he's right. She's ready to fight." And Eldrith, smiles broadly at you, and she says, "Right, so Where are we going?
Apparently we're going to the depths. Is that right, Lodak?
Lodak says, "Hey, down the depths of you. It
Nice.
shouldn't take you too long.
Right.
A couple of days at most. Last we heard, it was nearby. But you know how things are down here.
I do.
So if you head down south, should run into it at some point." And Eldriff says, "Aye, well, good. I was heading that way myself. So, you need some weaponry, don't you?" And she looks at you and Fickrus, and she says, "Wait, come with me." And she starts toddling off.
Right. Wait up, my legs aren't as active as your young, spry scout legs. Hold on. And he starts to, as he waddles.
Keep up, old man.
I'm trying.
And Fickrus is following along. I'm coming. I'll keep up. And he's like the most nervous man. He's like looking back at his like group of friends as he leaves. Like, I probably never see you again, but bye. And she leads you off to the barracks, where the scouts, the scouts and rangers usually chill. She lets you into this pretty large room actually. There's lots of cots, and on one wall there's just racks of weaponry. That's a tongue twister.
Wax weaponry.
There's
Can't
lots
get
of
too
wax.
close to the primordial being the center of Gauntlgrym. That's gonna melt.
Exactly. And she leads you to the wall, and there's kind of every kind of standard weapon that you would see here: axes, battle axes, warhammers, swords, maces, morning stars, daggers.
Got some sound feedback.
Oh really? Oh, that's me.
Phone stuff.
Phones. Goodbye.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry about that, I guess. The weapons of all sorts and armors of all sorts hanging out in this area. And she says, "So, pick what you want, but I'll have to return it after."
Right. Yeah. And he grabs he probably grabs a hammer. And he grabs a chainmail shirt and a shield.
Mm-hmm.
With like, would it be a Moradin crest or like a Gauntlgrym crest?
No, it's a Gauntlgrym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Fickrus goes and takes a sword and puts on similar arm to you as well. He takes a shield. He's clearly never held a sword before, or a shield for that matter. He's a cleric, and he kind of takes it. You know, he's like the kid in Lord of the Rings that picks up a weapon for the first time.
Yeah.
And Eldriff says, "Yeah, sure, it's a good idea to bring that one."
Me?
Hey.
No, yeah, I've got to bring a hammer for Moradin. It's a
No. The lad.
Oh, the little guy. Oh,
hey.
I mean, he's got to learn to fight at some point. I mean, what happens later if he doesn't come with us, and we get, let's say there's some sort of emergency where we need him to take arms and he has no training at all. I think it's good that he come and watch and know what he's learning.
I think it's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Kind of gives him a hard wallop on the back.
He like nearly falls over.
You're great.
Hey, you'll do fine.
And Orin used to probably fight. Just probably maybe as like he used to work on the guard, but he decided to just take the cloak and go with take the robes and
take the robes.
Yeah. So he's probably has some fighting experience. That's probably why he's like, I'll go, whatever.
Yeah. So Eldriff nods, says, all right, and heads out, starting to walk southwards through Gauntlgrym. And in the Underdark, of course, it is usually...
I have to go say goodbye to my family.
Aye. Go ahead. We'll wait here.
I meet you back here. All right. It's just right up ahead. And Yeah, he kind of peels off and then heads off towards his family forge.
Vicar starts following you like just off instinct, and then Eldriff grabs him.
Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah, he kind of opens up the door slowly. Sweetie, Dahlia, my
You
love.
see your wife come through. Hey.
She probably doesn't. She probably sees me wearing chainmail and has
Yeah.
a hammer buckled and everything.
Oh yeah. What are you doing, lad?
The new job for the temple. I must go get. There's a caravan that went missing, and they need me to go find it. So
Hey.
I gladly. I have fighting experience, and the other.
Hey, this sounds dangerous.
No, it's not. I mean, there's nothing.
You're
out
going
there.
out to the depths.
Yeah, but there is nothing out there I can't fight. You know that.
Well, you didn't know that.
Yeah, but you don't. Are you saying you don't believe me, Dahlia?
No,
You don't trust in
no,
me?
no. Of course I do. It's just, well, the
How-
baby.
Dahlia,
What if she
how
grows up with her dad?
how can I protect you if I don't ever fight? What if something was to happen to you and I could not get to you? I think if I go fight, I will. It's a muscle that I need to keep on practicing. He's got an 8 intelligence. I must have to rework my muscle of fighting so I can protect you.
Ain't no good come from fighting. That's why I gave it up for the robe.
Right, I did,
Right.
but the guard won't go do it. It's maybe I will prove to the temple and to Moradin that I am more than just a robe folder or a candle maker for the temple.
I can tell your heart's set.
It is, but my heart is always right here. And he points to her chest. And with Mithrila.
Yeah, she takes your hand, and she says, well, good luck, and may Moradin guide you, and come home.
I will.
Come back.
Oh, I will. I'll be back. I love
Hey.
you.
I love you too. Bye. And she like comes in for a.
Actually,
Yeah,
he
she probably
probably
goes in
and
for a
says-
kiss.
Yeah, and he kisses her, and he goes, "I just need to go say bye to Mithrila." And he goes off and he's roleplay it. He probably hugs her for a bit. A tear falls, just because he
Yeah.
hasn't been away from her in like ever since she's been born. It hasn't been a night without listening to her screams and being there. But he's
Yeah.
like, "It's only for a couple of days."
Listening to her screams. It's a bit dark.
But, yeah, so he's gonna he probably he's like, "Oh, it'll only be a couple of days. And for some reason he gets emotional when he holds her, and he gets reassured probably for this fight and to protect the family.
Yeah, cool. She, I guess you put her down, and Dahlia kisses you goodbye. So yeah, what do you do?
Where are we? So yeah, he probably heads back. He leaves, silent, awkward, because they've already said goodbye. So it's like there's like this like awkward, quiet looming in the room when he finally just walks by, and then he like slowly peers up at her, and then he closes the door slowly behind him, and then he pokes his head back and goes, "Don't worry, I got this guy on my side," and he points to his holy symbol of Moradin.
Yeah, she smiles.
"I'll be back," and then he
Hey.
leaves.
Cool.
And then he meets
Have-
everybody, Eldriff,
Yeah,
and Ficris.
yeah. Elder says, Everything all right? Managed to convince her?
It didn't take. It wasn't a lot of convincing, really. It was just telling her, "I'll be back."
All right.
I don't know, talk about it.
Hey, and she sets off at a brisk pace down, starting the long set of steps which start leading down through to the Great Forge. So I was going to say in the Underdark, usually it's very obviously very dark, hence as the name would suggest. But in Gauntlgrym, at least, there is a large amount of lighting. They have braziers and coals burning, and the heat from the forge itself, the light from below also comes up to give the city a kind of vein-like orange glow. And another interesting thing you should know about Gauntlgrym is that there are ghosts in Gauntlgrym. There are spirits and souls which haven't found their way down into Nilfheim somehow, and in fact still wander about the streets. For the most part, they're benevolent, and there's an order.
Elvis has got to get on that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and there's been an order not to disturb the ghosts or anything, and they're considered not holy, but they're considered to be spirits which are still living here, and they shouldn't be messed with by the dwarves because they're quite suspicious people, the dwarves, and so they don't want to mess with what might lead to something terrible, and so they leave them alone, and you can see often spirits walking in streets and alleys who are silently speaking to one another. You can't interpret what they're saying, but that's an interesting thing about Gauntlgrym, and they are from
nearly
ancient
headless.
past.
How could you be nearly headless?
Exactly. And they still wander the streets of Gauntlgrym. So Eldrith leads you down to the Great Forge, where roads lead off into very much the style of the deep roads. If you've played Dragon Age Origins or know anything about that lore, it's a similar feel in the Underdark, although more spiders. And at the Great Forge, there is in fact this gigantic forge and anvil, and there are probably hundreds of dwarves working here, beating out metal, not magical armor, but standard but very robust armor, which you're in fact wearing now. And if you know anything about armor, you know that it's pretty good quality for that. You can't find much stuff in the Underdark in terms of trade and how that works. I mean, the dwarves aren't trading with the drow, so they have to be pretty self-sufficient in what they create. And of course, they do trade with the gnomes of Blingdenstone, the Svanniblin. But other than that, they have to be pretty self-sufficient. So you come down to the Great Forge, and there's this burning magma pool further down below. And like in this, there's trapped a primordial being. You don't know the name of it, but it's certainly there, slumbering. And somehow that energy from the primordial being is being channeled into the Great Forge, and that's how it kind of runs everything here. So a bit like in the Hobbit films, when all this machinery starts coming to life and burning and all setting into motion, that's how it looks. This looks in a moment. It's a huge cacophony of sound.
Yeah.
That is it's going.
Yeah.
Yep. And and thank you, Jadit, too, for following. Welcome to the adventure, my friend. You're a gentleman and a scholar, sir.
That brings us three more follows.
3 more follows to 600, boys. Let's get on that follow train. And Ray, yes, I have read the Salvatore books. I'm a big fan, and this is it's a wet dream for people that love the Salvatore novels and Drizzt. So she leads you down through here. All this is pretty standard fare for you guys. You've probably been here before. Although you probably haven't spent a lot of time down at the Great Forge. This is like a different cast of dwarves. This is the builder dwarves, the worker dwarves. You work up in Gauntlgrym, doing other stuff. So you probably don't come here a lot. The heat here is pretty intense, especially in this new armor, which you haven't worn for years. And so you're probably getting
sounds, because that's what it sounds like in the forge.
Yeah. And you're getting pretty sweaty, and you see Fikris also kind of, it's getting pretty toasty down here. And Eldriff is, she looks absolutely normal. She's been doing this every day, and so she nods at several guards, at several patrols of warriors and scouts, and she kind of, hey, we're just heading off down south to find a caravan, and
Fikris,
yeah,
do you know why we grow out our beard?
for the warmth.
Well,
I didn't.
For the warmth, but when you're in a forge, it acts as a blanket to block the heat from the forge. Right now, I'm not affected, but you seem to be burning up.
I am. It's pretty toasty.
It's alright. You'll be blessed soon, and you'll have a beard like mine. And he tugs like his giant beard.
Oh, and he looks very excited. But so Eldriff leads you onwards, and there's a great gateway which leads off into a very long dark tunnel, which you start to see twists towards the end of. And she stops and she says, "Right, well, this is where we go. You guys ready? You need anything? You got your torches and
I think I'm ready. I
provisions?
mean, do we have any water for Vickers here?
Hey, we got. She gets out some water skins and she shows them off, and then hands one to Vickers for a quick gulp. Hey,
drink up,
thank
boy.
you.
Be careful. That's all we have. There you go. See?
Hey, and
she said, "Get that glass." I only drink my water out of a glass.
Yeah. My mom gave it me. She says, right, so a few things before we go into the depths, because as far as I understand, haven't been for a while, a little bit.
What was that? Sorry?
She says she's basically asking if you've been into the Underdark or at all.
No,
if
I haven't been in years, and what I've seen is just the outskirts of Gauntlgrym. I haven't left.
Right. Well, we shouldn't be going too far. All things go to plan. But a few things you should know. We should be making a map of everywhere that we go as we go, because we're going to get lost if we don't. And when you're traveling, you didn't want to get lost, because in the depths you can't tell. Aye, of course. And she says, so if you ever find yourself alone, make sure you map where you've been, because things start to look very, very similar after a while. So there's that. Of course, also didn't want to get split from the group. Yeah, we want to stay together. Other thing, lighting, food, water, monsters.
Water. Earth and water. All right.
Earth, wind, and fire. She says, monsters. Right. Well, trying to stay away from any big, creepy, crawly, killy monsters. But
Will do.
if you do, then you're gonna not. Okay. She looks at Fit Chris and how he's like trembling at the thought of this. Didn't get yourself backed into a corner. Make sure you got an escape route, and evasion is often better when fighting these things, because, well, things I've seen, you didn't want to fight. So I think that's all.
Right.
Okay?
Don't map everything. Don't get backed into a corner. Don't run into creepy crawlies. Right, sure. I'll try my best.
Hey.
No promises.
She nods. And Jadbox, new players joining next week. This is like a 0.5 sort of thing. And thanks Jadbox for following. There's also Jadit, but you're double a scholar and a gentleman.
Counts.
It still counts. So yeah, she nods and heads off into the depths. Um, and she sets off. So for the next day or so, she begins to travel, and she maps everything as she goes. And in fact, she probably hands the responsibility over of that to you, Oren. She hands you the parchment, and she says, you know, start to map where we're going, everywhere we're following. So roll me a survival check as you're doing
this
that.
Is
just
for you, Vickers. Toss it right to him. Right, I got it. Here, okay, that's yours. And he takes the charcoal pen and it's for you too. But yeah, survival.
Yeah.
And then if I fail, I die. Right? That's how it works. 4.
Pretty much, you die. Yep.
I'm dead.
So
I failed my survival check.
thanks for watching, everyone. And so on a 4, you aren't very good at map making.
Right.
You've never done this before, probably, so you're kind of amateurish. You do it for like the first few hours, and then she looks and she's like, that's not that can't be right, because we took a left turn, and then you realise that, oh yeah, you've gone a wrong way, or the lengths are wrong, and so it all gets a bit confusing. And she says, well, it didn't matter too much. We'll start again, and Ficrus, you help out. So be that as it may.
I don't know my way around the quill.
Hey, it's all right. It's all right. But be that as it may, she heads off down these tunnels. They start to become quite labyrinthine. The tunnels in the Underdark, there's you see exotic fungi growing on them, which glow and they illuminate several passages. But of course, there's no natural light here before, and so being in an environment with absolutely no natural light is rather, jarring for us to be able to understand. For actually living there, but I mean, your eyes do adjust. Dwarven eyes, you tend to have some dark vision, I believe. Of course, you're an underground folk, so perhaps for you it's more normal. But for us to understand this as players and viewers, the only light which you're going to be able to use are the torches which Eldritch comes with. The sometimes fungi which illuminate some parts, but it's not like conveniently always lit in the Underdark. There are places where you would just cannot see your hand. You look out and you just can't see your hand in front of your face because it's that dark. And the noises of the Underdark are something new to us, a new experience audio wise. And it would you hear sorts of all sorts of creatures. You hear it's not birds chirping, it's creatures and spiders kind of crawling up walls. It's insects underfoot. It's water dropping in a cavern maybe a mile away because it echoes through. And sound here in these tunnels is really hard to understand as well, because direction is very, very confusing, because you might be in a cavern at one point, you might be in a series of tunnels which lead off into each other, and the sound just bounces off walls, and it could be coming from the north, could it be coming from the south? Clickety clacks everywhere. That's right, P-farts. So just constantly imagine this aura of sound pervading around you, which is quite unsettling to be around.
It's disorienting.
Disorienting, yeah, and psychologically it probably has an impact, especially if you're alone. But being with company and having some kind of back and forth conversation is quite good. And Joel Coton, the catch up is actually outdated now. So this is a very first episode.
This is the first episode, yeah. So you don't need to catch up. The only thing you need to know is I'm a dwarf. Was a cleric, still a cleric, trying to defend his honor by going and finding a caravan that was lost. So far, that's what's going on. And Will is doing stuff.
Yep. So this is what the crawl space is. At some points, the tunnels will be wide enough for all three of you to fit down. At other times, you're gonna have to literally kind of crawl to get through tight spaces. But Eldritch seems to know what's going on. She seems to understand at this point where things are going. And so at some point, you reach a tight circular kind of cavern, and there are 3 exits leading off. There's one left, middle, and center. And she says, right, let me see that map, and roll me a survival check. And thank you, Joe Colton, for following. Welcome to the adventure, my friend. You are a gentleman and a scholar, sir. Do you know what that means, Myth?
Is that it? Is there one?
That means that there's one more.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
That means...
Welcome, Joe. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We have one more follow until we have a viewer vote, where you guys, as in chat, can decide what we do, and then we will have a vote on what happens. It can be anything, and that's what appears, and then anything can happen. So we just need one more person, and then you guys can all play along with me today.
So I did. Welcome. She. What was your survival roll even?
So natural 20. Let me reroll. Because I didn't roll it yet.
Yeah, you had a nat 20 on the persuasion, a 4, and then the 11.
Yeah,
cool. So on the 11, she says, "Oh, right, this is better. I think that, well, all things going to plan. Then, if the caravan came from here, we should be going to the east, which is this way." And she points off to the right-hand tunnel. Okay.
Sure. It makes sense, but yeah, sure. Let's go. Yeah. I believe it.
You holding up all right there?
Yeah, I just these sounds, and I'm very disoriented. We came from over here. Or was it over there?
Here, and she points back, but it looks identical to the place you've just been,
Right.
you were looking at.
I'm very lost, but let's tread on. I believe you. I trust you. If I was here alone, yeah, okay.
Well, you're not. So I tell you what, let's take a quick break. Let's get some food. Let's get a drink.
Aye, very good.
And we'll camp for a few hours. Yeah.
Aye, let's do it.
And Ficrus is similarly looking kind of. Hey, I could do with a rest, actually. I could do with a little sit down. And...
Aye, me too. Don't worry. Just sit down. Try to work your legs. Make sure you don't...
Yeah, his legs are kind of shaking.
Yeah, you don't want them to, you don't want to pull anything. Give me your map. Let me look that over. And you just, don't worry. We'll be good. Just rub your legs on this stone. And he's like, there's probably a stone from, a cold creek that's, running by. And he's like, here, just use that. Put that on under your neck here, and that'll cool you down.
Yeah. And hey, Masofa and Cleric, thank you for your strength, as always. And
thanks, buddy.
Eldrith, starts a small fire, and she puts some food on. She has a drink, and roll me a perception check. I'll roll one for her as well. She rolled a 15.
I rolled a something. Damn it, what happened here? 15. No, you rolled a 15.
Oh. And I agree, Ray, with your point on the story writing not being brilliant writing.
12.
12, okay. Doesn't come from mine. Sometimes Roll20 messes up. But yeah,
let me try to figure that out here.
Yeah, no worries. She her ears prick up at some point, and so do yours. You've probably acclimatized a little bit to the sounds of the Underdark, but you can probably distinguish what are the normal sounds of the little critters going around and what are, other things. And so you hear like a little pitter patter of feet.
A
pitter patter of feet coming from one direction. You're not entirely sure which direction they're going from.
Okay. Do you hear that?
Hey, feet.
But not the feet I want to hear, I don't think. Is that good feet or bad feet?
Can you tell? She stands up and draws her weapon.
Should I be worried?
Hey, well, it's the Underdark. Maybe.
Right. He rolls up to his feet and tries to. I guess he draws his or unhooks his the hammer on his belt and fumbles and tries to grab the shield from his. It's not really an epic draw of weaponry yet, but he's like, just let me try to get the. And he finally gets the wrestles with his shield, and then gets it to where he thinks is a decent place.
Atlas Jester says a happy feat. Fikris kind of stands slightly behind you and to your side with his little sword out, and normal size sword, but he stands there, and Eldrith kind of takes the lead, and you kind of form what I imagine is a kind of V formation as you guys prepare. These feet get louder. They seem like small feet, but they kind of echo because of the the space which you're in, and out from the tunnel to the center, the feet grow louder and louder and louder until you can feel like they're about to come around the corner, and Eldrith says, "Get ready!" And there's a very kind of tense moment as you see a long shadow come across. Looks kind of humanoid as it comes across, and there's another shadow, and then the feet get the loudest, and then they turn the corner, and you see before you two goblins.
Welcome.
And
That's it. That's
is that the one?
That's 600.
Oh, you shouldn't have said. Nice. Congrats, dude.
Nice. Thank you. All right.
Good
so
job,
that's thanks for the follow, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you. Our advanced.
Thank you so much for 600.
Oh my god. That's insane, isn't it? That flew by, that last 100.
I know.
That's kind of crazy.
600 and 650.
That was 500 the other week, man.
Jeez. That one flew by. All right, so what this means, everybody, thank you so much. This is probably one of my favorite parts of playing with Encounter Roleplay is the randomness. Also, if you scroll down, you can make more randomness happen, but we also have the viewer vote, which happens. It's absolutely free. All you need to do is just suggest things that can happen right now. So, Will, what's the scene again?
So, you're scratched a bit about who actually turned the corner.
All right. So there's feet approaching.
What? Yeah. Feet approaching this cavern which Orin is in and ready for a fight. And something turns the corner. What turns the corner? Let's hear some suggestions. Let's get...
This is Goblin Merchants.
Oh, cool. Oh, did my donation come through at the start of the stream? Oh, we should check that.
Oh. God.
If it was on the break screen, then I don't think so. But let's go check.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Let's go check. Donations. Atlas Jester, £10. Oh, dude.
Wow.
For Views Game and how awesome you are. Thank you so much, Ben. That is really, really appreciated. Thanks, dude.
That's great.
That it gets us closer to our Comic-Con dream, and also it just really helps in general. And oh man, that
gives us what, 10 experience. So we're 17% to level 6.
Nice.
Yeah.
On the stream thing.
Yeah.
Joe, we are level 1. So let's go and get a straw poll.
I got
for all these. Oh, you got it, dude?
Yeah, just read them off to me.
Okay, we have Goblin Merchants. We have Dancing Goblins. That's a good one, Miss Sofa. Good to see you back, dude. We have Goblin Allies. I mean, I guess the Goblin Merchants could be allies, so...
and it doesn't have to be goblins either, right?
Doesn't have to be goblins, it could be anything.
He said goblin, but he's scratching that, so it can be anything you want.
It could be a Mind Flayer, it could be a Hooked Horror. Oh god, a Drow Slaver Band.
sick.
Elvis, Herald of the Dead. Oh, that would be. I've got plans. I've got plans for Elvis.
Oh, okay. So we're not doing it. Drow Slaver Band.
Oh my god.
Slaver Band as in a band of slavers, or a slaver band as in they're like. Drow Slayer Band. Band of Drow Slavers. That probably makes sense.
Every party needs a goblin on a string. The half spiders, Driders. Driders.
Shit.
How many have we got?
We have 4.
Okay. Should we make it 5?
Yeah, let's do one more. Goblin Merchants, Dancing Goblins, Band of Drow Slavers, Driders. Oh, that's Dan. Band. There we go.
Gelatinous cube.
Multiple poll choices. Require votes to solve a captcha. No.
Band as a group of slavers. Yeah, we're just joshing. We're just gelling. Skeksis. Don't know what that is.
Band of Skeksis.
It is the Underdark.
Skeksis are the. Have you seen Dark Crystal?
I haven't.
Right, Skeksis. Yeah, they're like the bird people. They look like giant buzzard bird people.
Yeah.
They look like hooked horrors, actually, is what a Skeksis.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, Cleric, of course, did say gelatinous cube, so should we put that one down?
Gelatinous cube? Hell yeah, I'll put that down. I love gelatinous cubes.
And that makes up.
I mean,
5.
I don't know if I want to fight one. How do I spell gelatinous?
Oh, I haven't. Those of you the other day when I was doing prep for this, you know some of the maps which I made, so we could bring some stuff in from that. But yeah, goblins immediately killed by bigger, nastier creature. There's always a bigger goblin.
That's true. That would be cool. If goblin just shows up and then whatever it is just like yeah. All right, so yeah, let's create the poll.
Let's do it.
All right, guys, here comes the link. Just get ready for the link, and now get your voting.
Let's do it. I'll copy that.
So, if any of you guys who just joined stream, we just hit 600, which means every 50 votes or every 50 followers, excuse me, we do a viewer interaction voting system where they will chat will suggest things that happen in game, and chat and us, the players, get to vote on what actually happens. So we've got a couple things. Just check out our link that we posted. I'll post it again. And yeah, click that and vote, guys.
Cool. Let me go vote as well.
What do I want?
Oh, it's tough, isn't it? The Band of Drow and Goblin Merchants are
yeah, I do like
popular choices.
Oh, you can vote multiple times.
Oh, can you?
Yep. Well, you can only do it in one vote. So, like, you can check all the boxes. Pull a Beth and check all the boxes. Don't do anything.
That's classic Beth.
Yeah, I'm gonna do these. I'm gonna do these guys. Cool. So this is probably a good time to mention what's happening on Saturday. Encounter Roleplay is teaming up with a bunch of different Twitch streamers.
The boys.
The boys are teaming up with the boys. We have Delinear on stream. We have Typical GM, Ray from MinMaxers, Finbar from Math and TV. We have anybody else? We've got a buttload of you guys playing in a
loads of you guys
playing with us, which is great.
Boys.
What else?
Yeah, and we'll be giving away a wonderful copy together of the Player's Handbook, which you guys can get. I was going to sign it if you want me to.
Starting that rumor, it's going to happen.
It's. I'm just certain narcissistic.
We're all going to end the whole stream with a live Q&A session, so with Will and I. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, stop by. That is this Saturday, the 26th. It doesn't matter what time zone because it's all day.
It's all day.
Just stop in, say hi, give us your love, wish us your luck, because we probably need it. It is hard work streaming for 24 hours.
Yeah, sweet giveaway. It is pretty cool. It's a brand new copy as well. It's not like my old copy I have lying around.
Yeah, we should
bought
give
it
away
special.
mine. That's
Yeah.
between pages 75 to 120. That comes out in one separate chapter. You
They're
can just
the
take that one
pages
out
you
and
don't
travel.
need.
Yeah. The monk
just slimmed it
section you
down.
could just take out.
All right, so we have 5 votes of Goblin Merchants, 4 on Bound of Drow Slavers, 3 on Dancing Goblins, 3 on Gelatinous Cube, and 2 on Driders. So let's
Sounds
give
good.
it another minute, and then we'll go with. At the moment, it's
we
Goblin
got.
Merchants.
So yeah, Goblin Merchants at 5 is winning so far.
Yep.
Gelatinous Cube's it's a pretty good spread this time. Usually it's like
It is,
one of
yeah.
them isn't like voted upon, but it looks like
Yeah.
everybody likes. I mean, nobody wanted me to fight Drouders, thank God. 2 people. Whoever you are, I hate you.
I don't think there's a way to see all of the quotes other than doing an exclamation point quote number.
You could probably make a command just like.
I probably could, yeah. I should probably do that at some point. Give away the battle hardened scarred veteran copy. So let's take one more look, and then I think we'll go with the results in as to Goblin Merchants.
Cool.
Oh no, the Dancing Goblins just got one more vote, so
Oh,
signed
that
a copy
still
of the
brings
bitch
me-
by Will
So it's
Judgment.
5 and 5.
I think. Well, the Dancing Goblins gone to 4, I think. So
Oh, okay.
there may be a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback, man. Right, it's been a minute. Let's go with Goblin Merchants. So,
Awesome. Thanks, guys. What? Oh, Durlox wants to play.
Durlox.
Durlox, go to this. We didn't post it one more time. There we go. Go to that link and vote what you'd like. Today we are waiting for a viewer decision. Orin is the dwarf cleric who is ready for battle. Something turns the corner. We don't know what it is. So go ahead and vote.
Dancing Goblin Villa in the future. I certainly intend to bring in Dancing Goblins at all opportunities.
It's like river dancing goblins. Just like marching, just passing by. It's like an intersection, then it's like we stop, and then it's just like and you just hear a really bad violin playing in the background as you just hear marching.
Is it a tie?
Is it a tie?
It's a tie between Goblin Merchants and Band of Drow Slavers. We need one more vote.
Oh, we also have a new viewer.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Nemoil.
welcome to
Welcome
the
to
adventure,
the
my
adventure.
friend. You're a gentleman and a scholar, so. So have a vote if you haven't already, Nemoil. Durlox has evilly tied us. We need one more. Someone make a new.
Or it can be, you could mix them and do drow slavers who have a pack of goblin merchants.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
And it makes sense.
Yeah. It totally does. Right, we'll give it one more minute. We need just one more vote. Radio City Music called Chorus Line of Goblins.
Just doing the can. Legs are flapping in the air.
God damn. They're forced to dance for paying customers.
I've waited my whole life to be a part of the Goblin Can crew. I'm just gonna march through the Underdark sideways and kick all the baddies away.
Pretty much.
I wanted to be in the Can crew, but I can't because I'm not tall enough. Sad life. And then I took up highway robbing, and that's why I'm here.
It's the sad story of this guy's life. But if
That's
I-
a preview into later episodes of D&D
Yeah,
where
it's a
we
sneak
take a
preview.
hostage goblin.
I need to learn my goblin voice. There's a kind of odd little, like a small engine revving up every time I speak.
Hi there.
Small stick shift.
Will, how do I get into your game? I'm pretty selective as to who I play my games with, but I do viewer games. We're doing a viewer game this Saturday, but I am in fact full of spaces now. I think I have like 6 or 7 players, so The best way to get into one of my games is to be around when we're doing video games. I'll announce some stuff on Twitter, but I'll do another video game soon, dude. And also,
it looks like it's a mixture. The mashup.
The mashup. Let's go with the mashup, shall we?
Yeah, Drow Slavers and Goblin Merchants.
Let's do it.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for the vote. See
Yep.
you.
Thanks
see you
for 600.
At 650. But we'll play again.
So we'll be back at
in 49 followers. We'll play again. So
yep.
Tweet to your friends so we can play again this game. That would be nuts.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. I'm just saving this moment in my life. Right. Cool. Let us continue. So, you do in fact see goblin feet turn around the corner. Let me start the same for you guys who are just back or just here. You are the dwarf Orin LightVein, and he is what can I say, Finbar? I'm so sorry. You guys, I'm disappointed too. You should have seen the other week, man. They decided to let the party live, and I was very upset. So you are in a cave in the Underdark with Eldrith the Scout and Frickus.
Yep.
Frickus. Yes. Ficrus, in fact. Ficrus, the young dwarf. And you've heard feet coming down a passage. You didn't know which one, but then the steps got nearer, and then as they turned a corner, you see two goblins who appear to be enshackled. They're enslaved. You don't know goblins very well, so they're either brothers or twins or just
I do speak goblin.
It's true. Maybe you do know goblins. These two are probably related. And Dolox, everyone is joining us next week. Beth and Josh are on away this week until Saturday. They are doing real world things and jobs and awful stuff like that. Losers, am I right, guys? What nerds? Yeah, that's where that's what's happening. You see the two goblins come around the corner, and behind them you see two live, tall figures. They have dark skin. They have white shocks of hair. They appear to be male. How much do you know about Drow culture?
Cord or Orin?
Orin. How much would Orin? We can do a knowledge check if you want.
Yeah, let's do a knowledge check. Let's see if he knows.
Yeah. Unless there's any particular reason why you want it in his backstory, like he knows loads about.
Not.
That's fine.
As of yet. All right, so let's. Norwich. Norwich is what brings us together today.
Norwich? It's an awful place. Never go to Norwich.
Is that a place?
Yeah, Norwich.
So knowledge isn't H-I-J-K. No. All right, so history?
Yeah, history, yeah. Cool. 13. So, you know that in Drow society, the females are in charge and the males are subordinate. It's a matriarchy. And down on the patriarchy, down on the matriarchy. Equality for all. The women are in charge, meaning they are the more dangerous ones. The men are great warriors and fighters, and they are the ones that do the killing for the most part, and the women are in charge. It's a big game of politics. It's like House of Cards on steroids in Menzo Branzan. There's warring factions. There's houses. Drow society. Game of yeah, exactly, yeah. It's done in houses. In that great houses will rise and fall and try and kill other houses, and it's kind of a bit. Romeo and Juliet sort of house conflicts often happen, and then they can be fixed with marriages, and it's very
so romantic. I get it.
It's so romantic when you stab that poison blade into his heart. That's when she knew that she loved him. Up with the hermaphroditarchy. Yep.
That's a Twitch name if I've ever heard it.
That's
Someone make that account and then come follow us.
Just in the waiting hermaphroditarchy. So these males are probably they're not slaves, but they're workers. They're the ones that do the bidding of a female, and so they're most likely to be ones on patrols. hermaphrodactyl. So you see these two men come round. They have long white hair coming down to their shoulders. You can make out their skin as being a kind of it's dark, but it's not black. It's got a tint to it which you can't quite establish in this light. They wear
charcoal.
Yeah, perhaps a charcoal. And you see that they have kind of very dark robes on, which fit tightly to their bodies and don't have any loose flowing items. And in fact, they carry themselves very tall and proud. They're looking down upon these goblins. There's an innate sense whenever you meet a drow that they are superior. They, if you've ever met one before, you may have met one or had an encounter with one before, maybe just out the corner of your eye. They are very superior creatures, and you know this about learning from them. They believe that they are the master race. They have no qualms in considering themselves better than you and telling you that as well. So that they keep slaves. They keep a lot of slaves in their culture. Goblins, deep gnomes, the Svenniblin, and Quaggoths, who are kind of more troll-like creature. And so they're very much a slave culture. A slave economy, I guess. They do all the hard work, whilst the drow do very little, and they watch them do it. And they remain superior about it. So it's a bit like the British Empire in a way. AO. And so these two drow enter. And I have just seen Mavrodarki follow. Who did that?
Yes!
Who did that? Come out and confess your sins.
Yes.
You are a gentle being and a scholar.
Yes, that is true. Thank you so much, whoever it is who made Hermaphroditarchy. We also need Hermaphrodactyl as well.
We just need a whole collection. So
we need to collect them all.
Gotta catch them all. That's awful. You see these two drow and these two goblins enter and roll me initiative.
What? Okay. Initiative. I think my thing broke, but let's see if it's working.
Oh, really?
Yep,
Your donger? You done it?
Yeah, my donger's broke.
Eldritch rolled a nat 20, so she's doing pretty well.
Sweet. Let me.
Myth, are you still in the TGM game as the goblin?
The TGM game. This. What was it?
Deluxe Con.
Oh, I don't know. I'm in the. I'm in the wrong roll 20. Hold on. What's going on? That is the wrong one.
That'll do it. Hermaphrodactyl is my highest level Pokemon. How do you delete people out of your game in Roll20? I don't know. Google it.
I don't know.
Not intentional. That is Delinia's game that you were in there, yeah.
Yep, I was in the I was in the other 24 hour.
Gotcha.
Weird. Okay,
so many games, so little time.
I don't know. I think it was Ray's it's MinMaxer's game. I was in for a bit, and then they left him in the background. They left him at the tower so he can fix it. So he's not in the game actively, but he's an NPC. All right, my initiative is a bloop. Good. I attempted to use a roll without a token.
That happens. It happens sometimes.
It's okay because I have a naked D20 as my 17.
17, awesome. So you have let's get this turn order boy up. We have a. Oh, I don't have any tokens, so screw this. I'll write it down.
That happens
from time to time.
Yes, Hermaphrodactyl has joined the adventure.
Oh my
god. Thank you so much, Hermaphrodactyl. You are a gentle being and a scholar.
Gentle creature.
You're a gentleman and a scholaress. A little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
You are the Miley Cyrus of pterodactyls. Or the Hannah Montana, you are the best of both worlds.
So, the turn order is Eldrith goes first, and Ficrus is going to take his turn with Eldrith as well. And then it's you, and then the drow appear to be surprised. And I think I might actually have a map for this.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I think I found something which can represent this fairly well. Let's bring you in here. And actually, let me put this into a different layer. Because it's always in the wrong one, am I right? Yes, I am.
All right. Yep.
Oh, all right then. Go ahead, LightVein. So let's bring this here. This is a campfire. It's kind of in a cave.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty big campfire, so, I mean, that's not accurate, but other than that, should we find a token? Do you have a token?
Got some weird things happening going on in my, not yet.
Just represent, let's have you as a token.
Okay. That looks like,
just for the sake of
me.
argument. Let's find some drow tokens real quick. There are plenty of good drow tokens on here, so. Dumb GM unprepared. That's not very kind.
Oh, but you are prepared. Not for the viewer decision, but that's okay.
It's true. Yeah, this is viewer decision, so he can't really be prepared for this. Goblin and X. I'll go one day. This is a solo adventure. This is first session is going to be with just Myth, and then we have our other players joining us same time next week. So fear not. We will have more players. We won't send Myth alone into the Underdark.
Huge bonfire.
It's just absolutely gigantic.
I think this fire is a bit huge.
It got a bit out of hand.
All right, Fikris. Fikris, you're doing this wrong. You just need...
Oh my
Fikris
god.
is huge. He's a giant of a man. Dwarf girls.
Solo mission, exactly. Easier to TPK when there's only one. You are very
Am I right? Yeah.
You are not wrong.
Let's just find another dwarf token, just a male one, because I don't have time to find a specific female. But this will be Eldrith. She's an old dwarf. Right, that will do for now. Right. So, the Eldrith is going first. She sees this happening. These guys are enslaved. The drow look equally surprised to have seen you turn as they turn a corner. There's a kind of a moment where you guys have to jump, seeing as you were prepared, and she kind of cries out, and she ignores the slaves because she immediately recognizes that these guys are bound, and moves here to attack the drow. So she rolls a 15 versus her armor class. She's a hit, and yeah, they're joining us soon, dude. And so she rolls some damage, not 1d20, however. She's gonna roll the 8, and she gets 10 damage down on this guy, which is pretty tasty. He takes 10. Fikris kind of moves in behind. He's like, ah! He doesn't. He moves in. He takes a wild swing, and he rolls an 18. Not bad. Nice. He has a flat roll as well. So he doesn't have much. He gets in a slash against the drow, who is apparently surprised and dealing with the shackles of this goblin here, and onset by these. But Eldrith, the female dwarf, gets a stab in, or like a slash in, and Fikris kind of gets a stab back in as well, which takes it to your turn, Orin.
Which one's me? This guy back here?
Yep, that's you.
Muscly guy. All right. I need permission to move him around.
Well, you don't have it.
Okay.
Okay, no, there you go. Orin LightVein. It's very nice.
Thanks. Great. I had a lot of fun.
Thanks for watching.
Well, I can't. Is he on a map layer?
Oh, he better not be. Yeah, I hate my life.
Now he's on the GM layer. Oh, yeah, you could just right click. Okay. Sweet. Thank you. All right. So this guy is going to, so he's got his hammer out, his hand, or his little war hammer, and he's gonna run over to here, and which was yeah, he's gonna run here and attack this goblin for where are we? It says longsword, but we'll figure that out later. All right, so
just so you know, the goblins don't appear to be armed. They are enshackled. So yeah.
Okay.
It's just easier to hit them. But yeah.
Yeah, let's go. He probably doesn't. So they're shackled. There's no. They're not. They're like their hands are shackled too.
Yeah, their hands are shackled. Yeah.
All right. Okay, maybe he's gonna go to here, which I think he still can because he's got a movement of 25.
Cool.
Because this was 15, so that's just And I rolled a 7 versus AC.
7 AC versus the drow or the goblin.
This is versus the drow.
Okay, that is 7 versus AC is not a hit. Dodges out of the way. Back to the top of the round, Eldrith. She shouts and attacks the drow once again for a 19. Absolute boss, this girl.
Nice.
And she does 4 damage against him. And he and this is at this point I've realised that the drow haven't had a turn, so let's do that first. I'm not using tokens, right? This drow whips out a thin blade to slash back at I'd say at Fikras actually, senses the weak, and stabs him for literally the lowest damage possible for 2 damage. So Fikras takes 2, and this drow rounds on you as it jumps out the way of your blade. And you do have a blade, don't you?
No, he's got a hammer.
A hammer, okay, thank you. And for a 12 versus your armor class.
Does not hit me with a chainmail.
Okay. Therefore
it has donned.
Cool. Therefore it's Eldritch's turn. She takes that attack. Fikras also has an attack against the drow here for a 3, which is a miss, which takes it to your turn, my friend.
Cool. All right, so he probably lifted his shield but didn't quite lift it in time, and the drow's blade probably just slaps his chain shirt, and if his chain shirt wasn't there, it probably would have been a death blow. And he's just like, his eyes widen when he starts to his adrenaline starts to pump, and he starts to actually find the strength to fight, and he goes to attack.
Okay.
The longsword, which is actually a hammer. So a 6 again. He's dusting off some cobwebs. So he starts to swing it, and then he just goes and misses completely.
Yeah, these things are pretty live.
Yeah.
These guys just kind of wipe out of the way but they're still on the back foot, you know.
Yeah.
Just got the app notice. Don't know what it means, mate. We have an app.
I coded an encounter roleplay app. Yep,
that's pretty useful. That's pretty good stuff. Yep. So you take your turn. This drow rounds once again on Fikras, trying to get a blade through his armor, but for a 7, it's a miss. And this drow goes into attack you. These goblins actually start to move away as fast as they can, but they're really slow because they're shackled. So this drow tries to pierce. Just bought the burn.
Only salvation.
So a 21 versus your arm class, my friend.
21 does hit, surprisingly.
Cool. So roll 2d6, and that's a 5. You take 5 damage.
Hey.
It gets a blade through your armor and scrapes your skin.
My skin. All right.
Oh, the skin. I got your dialogues.
That's my max.
So Eldrith, seeing that this drow is pretty wounded, rolls a 6 rather terribly, and Fikras tries to come down with an overhead swing, finding his courage at last, for a 1 damage, which isn't quite enough to finish this guy off, funnily enough. He just dodges out the way at the last minute and catches it on the shoulder. And this drow comes in to you for a 10 versus armor class.
Nope. Niente.
Cool. If you guys want to
Yeah,
find
he
a game,
probably-
go to stillborn.com.
There you go. Yeah, he probably lifts up his shield this time after getting that cut, probably on
Yeah.
the shoulder. That next swing, he just uses it to bat away the sword.
Gotcha. Perfect. So that takes it to...
Perfect.
Indeed. That takes it to Eldrif and Fikr's turn. Eldrif is again, she's going to move in here as the space opens up. She kind of tactically, so this guy is kind of cornered.
She's got a beard. I love it.
She's got a beard. She's very beardy. Tries to keep it trimmed. A 17 is a hit. It's a perfect number. And she comes down across his Drow and kind of slices him basically in half.
She has an axe, right?
Yeah.
Sweet.
This Drow kind of just flops onto the floor in several pieces, and Fikrus looks down in horror as blood spurts all over him. He's like, oh, and he spends his turn just screaming at the blood, which he's covered in.
Screaming at the blood.
Yeah. I'm covered in it. And yeah, his like hands and face blood coming out of his mouth. And,
It's like so his beard. Or
yeah.
his wispy beard.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to dye it again. So that takes it to Orin's turn.
Dye your beard?
Nothing. So yeah, your turn, mate.
Okay, he's gonna... Yeah, he's probably just gonna attack again, you know.
Hashtag keep it bloody DM.
Yeah, he's gonna... 21, 4 damage.
Nice. That is a hit.
Yeah, so he probably clangs with his shield, and then while the drow is exposed, he lifts up that hammer and goes in for like probably right on the shoulder, between the right on the top of the shoulder, right next to the neck. So where he just does like an overhead sort of chop or lunge with the hammer.
Okay. Cool.
Now exposing him, but he's in a deep lunge with a hammer.
Yeah. Awesome. So
Hermaphrodactyl.
I know. I love every time I see that. And hey, Ginyu. So I need to find something real quickly. I need to find a... Oh, I can use... Oh no, I can't be able to look for the PHP to find it. Right. This drow here puts his hand together and pushes down onto the floor with like a force, and a dark ball of energy forms there and flies out, and then you're surrounded by darkness.
Sweet.
So you're gonna need to roll me a... I saw the word spaghetti and I nearly said spaghetti check, but perception check.
I'll try my best. I don't know if I'm trained in spaghetti, but I'll do my best.
Gotcha.
I've got actually an advantage on spaghetti checks as a dwarf. What did you say, perception?
Yeah.
13.
It's gonna be a disadvantage, so
3.
roll me 3. Okay, perfect. Yeah, this drow kind of just dodges, goes into the blackness. So you don't know where he's gone. Could be anywhere. Could be here. Could be there. Could be anywhere. You could be in the GM layer. So
Makes
yeah.
sense. Okay.
And these two goblins are here, still trying to get away. Like they're struggling, and we're out of combat.
Okay.
Show your face, you nimbly elf, you shadow. Get out
There's
of
no-
hiding.
There's no immediate response. Eldrif goes over to Fikrus, who's like, look, covered in blood, and he's trying to wipe it off himself, trying to get it out of his beard, his wispy little beard. And she comes over and like slaps him with a mailed fist around the face. Snap out of it! And he kind of, hey, I'm back. And he kind of comes to a little bit, yeah, he readies his weapon in case there's another one, and yeah, that's what's going
Okay,
on. She comes and slaps him.
And then he changes his language to goblin,
Blah, 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 blah.
and he starts talking to the goblins. He goes,
You Greenies, where do you think you're going?
They start to kind of move away. They're kind of like shuffling as quickly as they can. They're trying to organize their feet to move in time. It's like a sack race at school.
Yeah.
Saying, yeah.
No, you didn't hear me.
And he runs over there and he grabs the chains that are like both of them are like left and their right hand are both shackled together and they're like trying to run. And he goes, hey, and he grabs like that chain and he like spins them around or like yanks it so like blah, and they like look at him. He goes, who is that? And this is our goblin.
Yeah.
Who is that?
yeah. This is a huge dwarf. The two of them look up at you. You can tell that these guys are probably, like I say, related. They've got long green noses. Actually, goblins have never been encountered in the World of Broken Kingdoms before, so I'll do a description of them. They have the typical long green ears and a long green nose, which is one of them's actually kind of like drooping nose. One's got a droopy nose. One's got like a perfectly thin nose. They have a few teeth. They're very small, and they have a yellow to green coloration. They're not like full-on green of a lot of time, and especially down here, Underdark goblins are a bit more yellow. You don't really know why. They just happen to be different species of them grow, and they populate. They're usually
less
not
chlorophyll from their blood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're usually not evil creatures. They're not like a huge danger to the dwarves. They are kind of nuisances, and they can be a danger in great numbers, but usually they're interested in trade and finding some way to get their own way. But up on the surface, they are known for up in the Weald being quite a danger. They are slaves to the orcs, and so where there are goblins, you often find orcs, but in the Underdark, they escape the orcs, and so they manage to hide from them. They're great for finding traps, and they are cavern vermin. Yes. These two look up at you, and one of them, the one we'll call him with the droopy nose, he says, "What you want?"
Who is that? Why are you shackled, first of all?
Well, we got captured. Ain't that right? Yeah, that's right. Got captured, didn't we?
1 second. You got a
All right, mate.
dinner emergency.
A dinner emergency. Oh no.
Crockpot's overflowing.
Oh, the classic crockpot disaster of 2015 that will go down in Encounter roleplay history. You totally need to shoot one in the knee. I agree. I used to be a goblin like you. I took an arrow to the knee. Yeah, they are goblins. Who actually is Hermaphrodactyl? I'm calling it Rem. That's my call. Because I don't know. But yeah, too many goblins in the crockpot is probably the problem. But yeah, what else shall I talk about for a moment whilst Myth is crockpotting? How's it going, P-Vots? I haven't seen you since the other day. But yeah, oh, so Rem, are you not Hermaphrodactyl? I assumed that might have been you. I've just seen Rachel. Is that Rachel? Miss Fiance. They are Miss Somatic, yeah. Oh my god. Is it Rachel? I don't think it is. I can't tell. It's just her body. Oh, good lord. I don't know, Flynn. I don't know, mate. But anyway, Out of the Abyss, first adventure. How you back, mate? Was that Rachel?
Yeah, that was Rachel.
That was Rachel. I didn't recognize her.
I'm much prettier in person. I just got back from the gym.
She says she wants everyone to know that she's much prettier in person. She just got back from the gym.
That's maybe why I didn't recognize her. Honestly, would I do something so mature as to make a name? Indeed. So, Myth, what are you doing, mate? What is Orin doing? He has his two goblins. One of them says, "Yeah, we got captured, didn't we?" And the other one says, "Yeah, we got captured."
By who? What was that? Was that a drow?
Droopy Nose says, yes, that's a fucking drow, isn't it? Dark elf. You seen him there?
Drow.
And Eldrith comes over and says, ain't that was some drow? Odd to see him so close. That's worrying. Especially for the caravan.
That's a bit scary. So
Why
you
not? That's
think,
scary.
Do you know... They're not that scary. Why are you in chains?
Oh, we're scared of him.
You're not scared, you just... How did you get down here?
We live here.
Right.
Isn't that right? Yeah, we live here.
Were you, Are you slaves?
Well, we were, not anymore. We're merchants.
Oh, now you're merchants. What are you selling? Chains?
Wait, well, yeah, we don't have our stock on us at hand, per se, but we certainly have done. We certainly sold all sorts of trinkets.
Right. Well, if I let you free,
Hey,
will you make your way back to Gauntlgrym? And I'll check out your wares.
I want to go to
Maybe you
Gauntlgrym.
could-
A bunch of dwarves here, they'll kill me, wouldn't they?
No, they won't kill you. Just tell them I sent you. Tell them or give one of the guards, maybe give one of the guards the trinket, and then it'll find its way to me.
Oh, no. I don't want to go to Gauntlgrym, mate. That's certain death.
All right,
They don't
fine.
like us.
Enjoy your chains.
And then
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I was a bit too hasty. I'll head off to Gauntlgrym. Where is Gauntlgrym?
Gauntlgrym's that way. Which, yeah.
he gives a rough map. He takes the map that they have, and then he just
Yeah,
draws
yeah.
a really shittily map.
This is a rubbish map, mate. Right, okay.
You just shut up. Go follow it, and right. Where is your stock anyway? Maybe I'll just take you there.
Well, our stock is hidden in a place which is undisclosed to any for now, but I will certainly go and retrieve it with Spiderbait here, and it's the one with the straight nose who supposedly is called Spiderbait. Turns and says, "Yeah, we'll go get our stock, and me and Yuck Yuck will do that. And thank you, Nazar 20D. I can't say that.
Nastor Trode.
Nazar 20 Day. Welcome to the adventure, my friend. You're a gentleman and a scholar, sir. And if you haven't yet hit that follow button, please do. And if you're a bot talking about FIFA, you can fuck off. But other than that, everyone else,
Kindly fuck off. Thank you.
everyone else is welcome. So Yuck Yuck and Spiderbait say, right, you gonna get my chains off him? And that's Yuck Yuck.
How many followers are we at? We're at 603, right?
No idea, mate. Yeah, something like that.
Okay, cool. All right.
So, I get your chains off, and then maybe we have a deal later. If I ever find you again, you owe me something, alright?
What's your name?
Orin LightVein. Actually, Orin.
All right, Orin LightVein. Just
No,
Orin.
Just Orin.
Well, it's been a pleasure to meet you. If you'll please de-shackle me,
Sure.
then I'll be on my way with my brother here, Spiderbait, and we'll go and get our stock and potentially come and see you at some point.
Right.
We might see our way to Gauntlgrym. Is there good wares to be had there? Good trade?
Oh, great trade, great.
Other than the murdering dwarves that all know likely kill
No.
on
Not
sight?
besides the murdering dwarves, you'll have great arms for when you need to be.
I've already got
well-
2
well
arms.
stocked.
What do I need them for?
Well, ours are made of iron.
Why do I need an iron arm?
Dwarven iron. You know it. Just give me your chains.
And he kind of like drags them over to like a crack in the rock, and
Yeah.
he puts probably the dagger, the blade of the small drow between the links, and then he uses hammers to smack it and try to split the chain.
Nice. Yeah, you know that goblins aren't intelligent creatures. They're cunning,
Yeah.
but they're not clever. So yeah, they Yuck Yuck says, "Oh, thanks, mate. Well, we'll be on our way then. So have a good journey. Watch out for the the giant octopus thing, which is in a cavern nearby here. It's killing everyone. And good luck."
Right. Underground octopus. Sounds weird, but I'll.
Yeah, it's like a rocktopus. It was an octopus in the
Rocktopus.
water, and then it's kind of grown into the rock. Folks
Yes.
call it rocktopus.
Rocktopus. All
Yeah.
right. Well, thanks for the information, and good luck. don't get taken by the drow anymore, alright?
Yeah, you neither.
You're right. They'll never take me. Look at me, I'm too heavy.
Yeah, it's true. Got a bit of weight on you. Work on that. Talk to you soon, mate.
All
On a
right.
mate.
Well, why don't you work on your weight and then... Alright, fuck off. Bye-bye.
He's gone. Him and Spiderbait. Yuck Yuck and Spiderbait head off into a cabin.
Okay. So yeah, they and then he's just like, right, well,
Maybe we should get back to the caravan and get back to Gauntlgrym. I don't want to fight one of those anymore.
and I'm gonna try to take a spend some hit dice here.
Yeah, go for it,
The
mate. Yeah.
hit dice actually.
Yeah. Fickrus does the same. He takes a break, and
Sweet, that bag's full.
Eldrith is kind of ready to go, and she says, "What they said about that octopus thing ain't good.
No, it sounds disgusting.
If it's been killing everything round here, then maybe that's where our friends are." And she gives you a kind of pointed look.
Oh, no. Alright, well, let's go make some calamari.
Alright, so he's just like,
Right, so let's go bash it.
and he starts to like clang his hammer onto his shield, and then he hooks the hammer and then tries to fight with the shield to put it back on his back.
Awesome. Cool.
More than give us strength.
Hey. And so you head off once again into the Underdark, the maze of twisting passages and trout traders. Yeah, you head off once again through these passages, and roll me another survival check as you are ongoing. On the map, and just keeping general awareness of what was happening.
No
Yeah,
idea where we are.
there was a fight, Ray, and they killed the drow. The goblins were saved, and they're heading off to go find their wares once again.
There was
So
two
you're
drow, one disappeared, one cast darkness and
Yes.
ran off.
Sure enough, somewhere abouts, perhaps. So on a roll of a 4, you're pretty lost. You and Eldrith as well. Possibly she's off put by the fight and tiredness and just exhaustion of being in the Underdark for probably like a couple of days at this point. It starts to get to you. It starts to play with your mind a little bit, and you walk into a cavern, a large cavern, and there's a lot of water in here. Let's see what your passive perception is. But as you come in, there's loads of big mushrooms in here, and I say big, they are giant mushrooms, which isn't uncommon in the Underdark. In these caverns, you get kind of big fungi patches growing, and in fact massive ones as well. So this isn't necessarily uncommon. They're a yellow breed. They are perhaps poisonous, but they do give light as well. You might recognize these as fire lichen growing on top of these mushrooms. There's all sorts of interesting flora going on.
I was gonna actually, for the overlay, I was gonna have
Yeah.
a mushroom probably right above here, and it was gonna have glowing spores across the overlay, and that was probably gonna be the lichen, or the glow lichen. But anyway,
Awesome. That sounds
fun
cool.
fact.
Fun fact, kids. So don't go into the water and don't breathe near the mushrooms.
Got it.
Sound advice. You come into here, and roll me a perception check as you come in, as you try and pierce the gloom. And Eldrith says, "Take a look.
I can't see a thing.
Hail of darkness." And so she kind of steps further in with Fickrus, and Fickrus like, "I didn't like the look of this. I don't like it." And he looks very nervous, as usual with Fickrus. But you press onwards, or at least Eldrith does. Do you follow?
Yeah. He
Yeah.
can't see much besides just Eldrith, so he's just gonna probably stay as close as he can to her.
Yeah.
Don't
So
get too far. I can't see much.
she
My eyes aren't as young as yours.
you hear a snap from overhead, like wood snapping, and she stepped on something. She looks down, and it's she kind of picks it up, and it's like a broken like wagon wheel, like a cart wheel, and she'd not good. And she kind of puts it back down. It was quite loud though, and you're probably just a few feet away from like the kind of edge of the water, when you see Eldrith get seized by what looks like a large rubbery digit of some kind, big kind of long vine-like, but rubbery and clearly organic, like a tentacle, wrap around her and kind of just grab her. And let's go to the Roctopus map. Oh yeah,
Rocto map.
Rocto map.
Yeah, that is crazy.
That's a Roctopus. Let me find the dwarves again. So this was Ficrus, I believe. The one with the beard. Oh wait, this is you, and this is Eldrith, and she's seized by a tentacle. Ficrus is probably in the rear. I imagine you guys might be standing next to one another, and you can roll me initiative. Calamari.
Oh boy, I don't have permission.
Oh. Well, then you're dead. Hopefully this is in the right layer.
Yes.
It is. Huzzah! I did some good prep.
Man, you're so good.
I know. Screw you, unprepared GM. Get fucked. Roctopus sounds like a pretty metal band name. I mean, there's the Electromagwaves, and then there's the Roctopuses.
And then there's Bloodvein.
Yeah.
From Numenera.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, I've got it. Orin rolled a 13. Roctopus rolled a 8. Roctopus. It's a new James Bond film, Roctopussy. It's kind of a take on a classic. And Eldrith is going to go 17, so she's going to go first again. So it's actually the same order. It goes Eldrith and Ficrus, Orin, and then the Roctopus. So, wait, I want to see this.
Yep.
Oh my god. I love it. So, save to favorites. It is Eldrith's turn. So she is seized by this thing. She's going to make a con save to try and break free of its grip. On a 12, she fails. And this thing has her gripped tightly, and she's unable to do much. She's kind of trapped by this thing. Ficrus comes along, and I might as well just draw the tentacle on for the sake of knowing that it's there. So the tentacle is around her. Ficrus comes, and he's going to take a chop. And he rolled a nat 1. At which point we're going to say that because Ficrus is so Will Rockstopus. Oh god. Because Ficrus is so nervous and anxious, and he can't see first of all, and he's very unexperienced. He actually hits Eldrith.
Is that red line a tentacle?
Yeah, that's to represent the tentacle. Yeah. What's that? And he does max damage against Eldrith. He brings his axe down. It slips in the darkness and kind of comes down on her. He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and she's like, "You fucking idiot!" And starts to scream out in pain as the blood pours from her arm. Taking it to your turn, Orin. You see these fools messing around.
I'm gonna go at 8. He's gonna go and he's got a hammer.
Are we hentai now?
He's gonna go up and actually put his hand on Eldrith, and right on the wound. It's an axe, right? That wounded him. Wounded her. He's gonna put his hand on the bloody wound, and then he's gonna do lay of hands, or he's actually gonna because he probably didn't draw his weapons yet, or he drops his hammer actually, and he walks over and puts his hands on the wound, and he uses his entire lay on hands health pool, and heals her for 5.
Nice. She kind of smiles as you do so. How does that look? In fact, what does the
he rubs his hands together, and like a small or like a very dim light comes between like the cracks of his fingers. There's like no shadow like between my fingers or between my hands. It's just all like glowing light, and then he like holds out his glowing palms, and they stick onto her shoulder, and then he radiant light is like shines through, like glows underneath his hands, and his hands are silhouetted by the light, and then he lets go of it after the health has been replenished and the wound seals, and like his fingerprints and palm marks are still kind of stuck to her shoulder as they kind of fade away.
Awesome.
So that's his lay on hands.
So it is the octopus of the rock's turn, and as you get to see this thing for the first time properly, it kind of comes out of the water very slowly, and it has kind of it looks like it's kind of calcified in a way.
Okay.
It comes out onto these rocks, and it looks like its skin is kind of rock and hard. And as you look at this tentacle, it's not just rubbery and wet. It also has parts of it which are kind of going to stone, a bit like the grayscale effect in Game of Thrones. So it seems to have kind of become part of this rock. It doesn't look very mobile in that these rocks that kind of these rocks which are around it appear to be kind of stuck. They are kind of part of it, and it doesn't seem to have very much movement, but it has these really long tentacles which kind of whip out at people and drag them in towards what you can see is quite a maw, quite a grill which it has. So it's got a grill. It's got a grill.
How adorable. So do I.
If the next enemy is a rock lobster, I will mark out so hard. Or trigger chat. So he has her pinned, and he's going to drag her in. Oh, you don't actually know what the gender of it is. It is the hermaphrodipus.
Got a lot of those tonight.
So
it's hermaphrodactyl.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hermaphropod, actually.
Hermaphropod, yeah. And it drags her in to kind of try and eat her a little bit, which on a 6 it fails, but it does still have her gripped. Taking it to Eldrith and Fixerton. Eldrith is trying to break free. She wants to break free, and on a 16 she does. So she snaps out of the grip of this thing and brings her axe down upon this tentacle for a 15, which is a hit. And she's going to do 1d8 plus 2 damage. 7 damage, I guess, on this thing. So it takes 7. And it is Ficrus's turn, and Eldrith is like, stay back, and Ficrus he like has a chop at this bit of tentacle very cautiously to not hit anyone, hopefully. And on an 8 he misses because his swing was too tentative. He didn't have his heart in it, and it just comes down on the floor and on empty air, making it your turn, Orin.
So the tentacle is probably like wrapped around her and
yeah,
her close, and there's a stone right there.
Yeah.
There's kind of like rocky armor on top of this.
Pretty much, yeah. It seems to be kind of has a kind of hide of armor.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna try. All right, we should switch, and he's gonna try to grab the axe from Ficrus, or like kind of do. I'm gonna guess he's gonna move to here probably, and then switch his axe for my hammer, and then I want to chop using slashing damage on this. So I guess it'd be the same because it's the same, right? It's it's a battle hammer or battle axe he has. Yeah, so it's the same damage, just different.
Yeah.
I gotta keep hitting. Get an attack off this round?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It's cool.
Yeah, so he's
wrap the octopus in rice and eat it whole.
23 for 5 damage on the tentacle.
5 bludgeoning damage, apparently.
Bludgeoning, but it's actually lashing. So.
Yeah, so this tentacle, kind of, you cut it off. It comes free and falls onto the floor with a kind of wet, slippery, sloppery slop. And it comes down. It's actually a lot heavier than you might think because of the rocks which are kind of growing into it. So anything else in your turn?
Nope, that's it. I mean, yeah, that's probably all he can pinch off because he just
Dip it in soy.
because he just swapped weapons. That's probably like that's probably like a bonus action. So yeah, he's all done.
Cool. One tentacle lashes out towards you, and another to the Ficrus, and he tries to swipe at you for some damage. First of all, it's going to roll against your AC for a 3 versus AC.
It does get me.
Does it?
No.
And a 6 versus Ficrus, which is a miss. So terrible form all round. Eldrith, freed, looks at this tentacle, and she tries to chop it off for a 9, which is a miss. And Ficrus nervously looks at this one and takes a slice for 10, which is also a miss. You guys are awful. Orin, it's your turn.
So he's got a thing around him. Or close to him. He's gonna try to lop it off.
Yeah, you hear some like Iron Maiden playing as the Rocktopus attacks.
Nice. He's gonna chop down and try to slice it off. Come on. 16 for 7 damage.
What are all these FIFA 16 bots about? So 16, that's a hit for 7 damage. This tentacle also just slops off. Here we go. Yeah. And takes it to Rocktopus's turn.
6 more.
Yep.
And then it's a rock.
And then it just becomes a rock. There's no puss left. It's just rock. This one carefully reached out towards you, towards Eldrith, and this one kind of cautiously tries to wrap its way around you because the last one's just been severed. It does have some kind of sentience. So this one against you is a 7 versus AC. The one against Eldrith is a 9. And Ficrus takes a 15, so Ficrus is going to take some damage. 3 damage he takes. He gets kind of
damage.
Yeah, 3 ink damage. He gets kind of sprayed in his eyes. He's like, oh, that's horrible. And it is Eldrith's turn. The thing about these one-shot ones, you've got to have the NPCs kind of take up a lot of turns, and you get a small turn. So it's just how it is right now. But
that's okay.
She slices at the tentacle nearest to her for a 15, which is a hit, and then she almost chops this one off. She kind of gets half of it kind of slapped off, but it gets caught in a bit of rock, which has also grown into it. And she kind of curses and lets Ficrus attack his, which has just sprayed him with ink. So with an 18, he lashes out wildly and managed to actually get a hit in, which is impressive. He hits it for 1 damage, however, which he tends to be doing a lot these days. He's getting some battle experience though, which is all important. So Orin, it is your turn, my friend.
So there's another tentacle near me. I am going to attack said tentacle. Hiya!
That's a miss.
Nope.
That's not it. Taking it to Rocktopus. The inexorable Rocktopus attacks you. Tries to wrap itself around, but for 11, is that a hit?
Nope.
Eldrith
16 is my armor class.
and Ficrus, none of which hit. Perfect. Eldrith takes an attack. There's lots of kind of flailing tentacles going on at this point. There's loads of tentacles everywhere. It's dark. You can't really see what's going on. All you know is that there's something like coming at you and you're slashing at it, and all Eldrith and Ficrus really know is that there's some huge thing here attacking them. So Eldrith for an 11 and Ficrus for the 5. Terrible. This is just the most ineffective first level combat. I love it. Orin, your turn, mate.
Hey, right? Yeah, gonna make some more sushi out of you.
Hey.
17.
That's a
9
nice.
damage.
Cool, this one flops off.
So there's what, 4 left?
Yep. This one just comes off.
just a very lopsided octopus at this point.
It is, yeah, yeah. It's a loptopus.
Lopsided, yeah.
We tried.
I like where you were going with it.
Yeah, it didn't quite have the finish I was looking for, but Eldrith.
It's okay.
This one misses. It's a 20
Can't
against.
all be winners.
Yeah, it's a 20 against what's his name? Fikris for 3 damage. He keeps getting 3 damage. He's taken 6 so far. He looks a little bit slapped around, and it's actually kind of grabs hold of his throat and starts to try and choke him. And you're like, oh. As this tentacle wraps its way around, and one kind of very slowly kind of tries to sneak up on you because you've cut like 2 of these things off already. But for a 15.
15 doesn't. I'm a 16.
Nice. It tries to sneak past your defense, but you just manage to see it and block it at the last minute or something with your shield. Taking it to Eldrith's turn. She's getting really angry at being able to not being able to hit this thing, and she curses and brings it down for a 12, which is not quite a hit. So her anger does nothing, and it's actually a 16 for Fikris, but which is still a hit. He's doing better than her right now. And he brings it down for a 6, which slices this one off, and kind of he's still being kind of blinded by this ink stuff in his eyes, but and it's just your turn, my friend. There's only
so
3 of these.
Yeah, there's 3 tentacles left. And there's like this rocky head.
Yeah, this kind of mass
up there. Yeah, he's probably gonna. And there's no tentacles near me, right? They tried to attack me, so there's another one near me.
There isn't one coming towards.
Okay.
No, this one is still coming towards you. This one that's snuck up on you, basically.
Yeah, he's gonna use it as.
This third one's kind of sneaking out. Yeah.
He's gonna chop that spaghetti piece in half. No, he's not. 8 armor class.
Not bad, but
Not good enough.
not quite good enough.
The axe probably sparks underneath the stone as he chops down.
Nice.
Indicating a clear miss.
A clear miss, and that one, this octopus, I'm going to say that.
Goes in his eye.
Oh, got myself in the eye. Oh God. That's how the octopus.
Oh no!
Oh no, man.
His beak snaps off his own.
Rock on. So I'm actually going to say that it was about to. You were about to miss this tentacle, but it kind of just flops off at a weird angle, and you're going to get to do your 8 damage against it, which just comes down and effectively slices its own tentacle. If it puts its tentacle in the way of the blade, which has just missed you for some reason,
yeah,
kind
like
of
it
spasms.
tried to like stop me, and it just like put another tentacle.
Yeah, it's like
cool.
facepalm.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
It's such a failfish. Good job in the dungeon, guys.
Nice.
Can I see if we get some Rocky Mountain oysters down here? So that was needs to make some attacks. They're going to attack Eldrith for an 8, which is a miss, and Fikris for a 19, which is a hit. Fikris is looking a little bit worse for wear right now.
That's
and he takes 4 damage, and he actually goes down. He gets kind of, this thing is constricting his throat, and it just cuts off the oxygen supply in its kind of calcified grip, and he just stops breathing and falls down onto the floor unconscious or dead. Taking it to Eldrith's turn. She's determined to. She actually attacks this one. She sees it kill down. What's his face? And Fikris, and she brings it down in Vengeful Fury for 5, which is a miss. And it's your turn, Orin.
All right, Orin sees the one choking.
Just Roxygen.
Fikris, and he charges over and tries to grab it with like his shield hand as much as he can, and then he wants to use just come over and lop it off.
Nice.
While still holding like the tip of the tentacle, just the tip.
Just the tip. Hashtag just the tip of the dong.
22 for 6 damage.
Nice. Yeah, that just lops it off.
Cool.
It,
so he's got like a tentacle in his hand.
Nice. It's just the tip of the tentacle.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I mean. go there for you. So this thing has its turn. It brings this snaking tentacle round to attack Eldrith for a 10, which is a miss, and it's Eldrith's turn. She slices back immediately for an 8, and it's your turn again.
Good golly. All right, so there's one tentacle left?
Yep.
Is that how it looks?
Hashtag just the tip.
20.
Hit that
7
tip. Yeah, that's a
damage.
hit. Yep, this last one just kind of slices off. How do you do it?
So he's got the tip of it, or he's got the tentacle in one hand. Where is the last tentacle?
I have the tip in this. It was the one over here, which had killed Ficrus. Or down Ficrus.
Okay.
Don't be still.
Yeah, he. No, that was the one he went and grabbed.
Okay. Oh,
So,
okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So the last one was probably attacking Eldrith.
Okay, yeah, he runs over, pushes her out of the way, and then like waits. He's got his shield up and waits for it to like strike him.
Mhm.
And then as it like reaches or like tries to like spear at him, and he just goes "Rawr," and
Nice.
cuts it.
Sweet.
Actually, probably hits his shield, and as it's like bouncing and recoiling, he probably just uses that to slice it off.
Nice, nice. Chop it like sushi.
And then I run over to Orin.
Cool. Give me a medicine check. This thing, like, it's tentacleless, and it just kind of like fades back down into the pool. It doesn't necessarily look dead. It's just all of its limbs are kind of off, and
it's just
the
kinda just,
brain.
like, helpless.
Yeah, the brain of it just starts to kind of fade down into the water, and disappears.
Cool. Not 10, so that's terrifying. But yeah, he runs over, and I have an 8.
Nice. You can not tell if he's alive or dead. He's not breathing. He's got like these really big marks where he's been like choked.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen it in like CSI sort of programs when people have been choked. There's like these bruise marks around his throat.
He probably has
and
like some like weird lesions of where the suctions were stuck.
yeah, and some bits of like calcified rock kind of stuck around to his throat and stuff. Pretty grim. And Eldrith goes, and on that 20, she goes and
Nice.
yes, I want to go. She just as well shoots it because she kind of starts to perform medical procedures that you would on someone who has just been choked. And she gets out her pack. She's got like a, like a not like a healer's pack, but like a first aid kit for field duty.
Yeah.
She gets it out and she starts to kind of bring him back kind of pretty roughly. And after like a few seconds, he kind of splutters and starts coughing.
I keep calling him Vicarus. It's Is it
Ficrus.
Ficrus.
Ficrus. I'll do it. Put it in chat. There you
Yeah, we're good.
go. Check his insurance plan.
Yeah.
He's only mostly dead. Delete his browser history before his parents. How's it going, Cakelog? So yeah, he kind of splutters. Oh, hey. Oh, I'm alive.
Hey, just barely. That thing almost took you down to the depths where it came from.
Hey.
Luckily you blacked out before you saw any other horrors.
Oh, Horace. Oh no. Oh, I'm still down here. Oh.
Hey, it's okay, it's okay. It's either here or further down in Nilfheim.
Oh no. I didn't want to go in Nilfheim.
I know. You won't. You won't just yet.
Eldrith has been sifting through.
I hear they have
over.
a handsome new herald.
Really? I heard he was kind of small and scrawny and
Oh yeah, but he's awesome. I mean,
bit of a
what
bitch.
fun.
Eldrith is sifting through some stuff over here, and she kind of calls back and says, "Look!" And she's kind of standing in the remains of what looks like this caravan. There are some dead bodies of dwarves here,
Right.
and she says, "Well, looks like we found a caravan." And she
Aye.
kind of has some she picks up some sacks of some supplies and stuff and chucks some to you and says, "Well, we'll scavenge what we can and head back to Gauntlgrym, I guess."
Right. Right. Sure.
Is there like any? Does it look like it is a functioning wagon at all?
No, it looks very much broken. She's got pieces of it, and the wagon wheel was
Is there like maybe there's like
broken.
a chunk of it or something that could just drag back?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, sure.
Just like
that
he could put
works.
all of it on there, and he'll just have everybody just kind of like scrape it up the.
Yeah, scrape it around. Yeah.
Scrape it through the pathway. But yeah, he's just like,
We could probably do this until we find a. I mean, unless I don't think we could carry all of it.
No, no. We'll. It's only a few days back, so fingers crossed. We can together. We can pull this off. And she says, "Fikris, you're good to travel?" And Fikris kind of still coughing. He says, "Yeah, I can, I can travel. Just not fights.
Yeah,
Please, no more
It's okay.
monsters."
I'll pull the card. You just be careful.
Hey. So you guys set
is it
off.
missing a wheel or is it missing a bunch of wheels?
It's missing probably like a couple of wheels, yeah. So it's kind of quite scrapey, like you say. And favorite category is dwarf, fog, and elf. Yep. So you guys head out of this cavern of the fiery lichen, and back into the tunnels from which you came. So roll me a survival check
Does
as
it
you're
look like
traveling
our
back.
supplies, or do we just grab someone else's supplies?
It looks like the supplies. I mean, you may even recognize a few of the dead dwarves who are here. They are worshippers of Moradin, and they were coming with some supplies for the festival.
Probably bury them or give them like last rites and place their shields on their chest. And,
Yeah.
Survival, right? Not something I am trained in. 16.
Okay. On a 16, you find your way back pretty quickly over the next few days. You guys scraping the cart behind you. Fikra seems pretty like messed up. Pretty shaken up from the whole thing. He's got autoerotic asphyxiation. He seems pretty shaken up by the whole ordeal and the pervading darkness and kind of terror of the Underdark. Eldrith seems much the same. She is usually very chipper and always has a joke or something positive to say, but at the moment she's dour. She's like an older dwarf. And you guys head back to the way you came from Gauntlgrym. Are you doing anything particular in this journey?
No, probably just dragging the wagon. Then thinking about Dahlia and Mithrila, my newborn. And then that's probably it.
Okay. You head back to Gauntlgrym over the next
Thanking
few days.
Moradin that no one actually died.
Yeah. So as you come back into Gauntlgrym, you're probably like a few. You can see what happens if Orin dies. We'll continue to play some monologue. Yep, I will just monologue this for days. As you're coming back into Gauntlgrym, you don't hear the familiar beating of hammer on steel as you're coming back in, which it's odd because the forge is always going. The Great Forge never stops. Basically, it's 24/7 sort of deal. And you come back in down the passage which you'd first left off, and there aren't these sounds.
This can't be. We're not there yet. How much longer is this?
It's just
Is
around
this,
the corner.
Are you
Just
sure?
down there.
Because I don't hear the forge. We were supposed to.
Hey, I don't hear it either.
This is probably some. Are we at a different?
No, this is Gauntlgrym. Look, and there's like a sign which is, kind of etched into the walls, which everyone does to mark their territory. It's like a dwarven symbol.
Yeah.
Oh, but something's wrong. We yeah, come on. Let's just keep moving. Maybe maybe you just can't hear it yet. I could have sworn last time we could hear the forge and the clanging of our brethren.
We could. Yeah, as you continue onwards, you come into the Great Forge, where there's this huge primordial being off to one side in a pit, fueling the fires of this cavernous hall, and above lies Gauntlgrym proper. There is no one currently in the Great Forge, which is very odd.
Alright, this doesn't look good. Is that some sort of meeting? Are we late for the parade?
Maybe.
Maybe.
She looks up and points, and she says, "Look!" And there's like smoke rising out from the top of like some Gauntlgrym houses, which you can see. Smoke.
Right.
She starts running.
Let's go.
And this time he grabs the shield. He's worried for a bit more dexterous than before.
Yeah.
Grabs the shield and unhooks the hammer, and is starting to worry and think about. Can't shake the thought of his wife Dahlia and their beautiful daughter Mithrila.
Yeah. You start running up these steps from which you came before, back into Gauntlgrym, kind of ready for whatever fight is about to come. And as you come back up 3 steps into this kind of grand staircase up into where you can see Gauntlgrym itself, and you see the smoke from these houses appears to have been kind of putting out their teams of dwarves, putting out these fires. There doesn't appear to be a fight, but there clearly has been a battle. There are dead dwarves, and you can also see some dead drow around the place. And there appears to have been some kind of attack or fight. There are dwarves all out in the streets, kind of picking buried dead, picking up weaponry and all sorts, and putting out fires and moving rubble. And you see Lodak, the cleric of Moradin, with his team of clerics helping to with some dead or possibly just injured, helping them.
Lodak.
Oh,
We're back.
Hey.
The caravan. The caravan's back at the entrance. What happened here?
He shakes his head.
The wagon's back at the entrance.
Yeah. He says, well, Drew, they attacked. We went already. They came in numbers. They attacked. They killed many of our bravest.
Probably without saying anything, probably when he's still talking, he just like his eyebrows furrow, and he just like turns and starts heading towards his home.
Orin,
What?
be careful.
And he continues.
Yeah.
I have to find my family.
Eldrith.
See if they're okay.
Yeah, Eldrith says, I can come with you.
Right. Keep up. I'm sure you can.
And Fikris also comes along too. So you start heading back to your... Yeah, not you. Oh.
No, you need rest, Fikris. You stay. You stay back with Lodak.
Okay. He doesn't look too upset by that idea.
You did fine on our travels, but please.
Hey, thank you. And he kind of stays back with Lodak and starts to help with some injured and wounded.
All right. And makes his way towards his
Family forge.
The family forge. So you come back in to where your house is. Your house is burning slightly. There are some dwarves putting it out, and they're probably dwarves that you recognize. And you see outside here, you see Dahlia, and she looks very, very distressed. She's in a panic. She's like full on panic mode, and there's some dwarves trying to calm her down. she's like, where is she? Where'd they go? Where'd they take her? Where'd they go? And the dwarf's like, calm down, love, calm down. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. And they kind of look at you return, and they look kind of They look kind of sad as they see you. They know something, and she runs over to you and kind of screams
drops
and
his
comes
weapons. He drops the shield and the hammer, and they clang at his feet, and he just holds out his arms.
Yeah, she runs and she's screaming and crying and being uninterpretable at this point.
Shh. It's all right. It's all right. I'm home. How are you? Is everybody okay? Where is Mithrila?
And after she takes a few minutes just to kind of, be fairly incomprehensible.
Okay. Honey, are you okay?
Yes, but they took her. She's gone.
They took who? They took
the baby.
My baby.
She just nods and cries. I couldn't stop.
You. How many? What were they? What did they look like?
They were tall and dark, and the elves who drew, and they were so quick, and I was.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all right.
Kill me! She's gone. She went into the next room. She's gone.
Honey. It's okay. No matter
no,
what
it's
happens,
not. It's not.
I know
okay.
I will find them, and I will get her back. Don't worry.
I know he's starting to like brush a tear away from his, like the furry part of his cheek, and he's like,
don't worry, we'll find her. This is why I went out. I went out to.
Well, if you'd been here, you might have been able to stop him.
I know.
And he starts to like cry a little more. Like his face starts to get red, and as he's trying to, like, emotions start to creep up on him.
But I promise you, from this day forth, I will find Mithrila, and I'll bring her back, and nothing will stop me. I promise you.
I believe you.
All right, I told you I'd be back this time, and I'm back, and there's not a scratch on me.
She kind of tries to smile, then cries.
I know, honey, look into my eyes. It's okay. I'll bring her. I'll bring her back safe. I'm sure she's fine. What are they gonna do with the baby dwarf?
I don't know. I didn't know.
Let's try not to think about it, but don't worry.
Why her? Why us?
I know. But Moradin has a plan for us. And has a plan for her. Okay. So don't worry. I promise.
Eldrith kind of steps in, and she looks very grim and says, "Wherever you're going, I'm coming with you."
Eldrith. Thank you. You may travel, and I do need your expertise in the tunnels.
Aye.
Because more than knows, I only get lost.
The sooner we go, the sooner we can catch him.
I agree.
Is there like what's scattered? There's like drow, you said, back outside.
Yeah, dead drow.
Yeah, he's gonna pick up he's probably gonna pick up his shield, or he picks up his shield that's at his feet, and then he looks around, and he picks up the battle axe that he did have, and then he drops that, and then slowly walks over towards one of these long swords and picks up a long sword from the drow and pulls out a sheath, or unfastens a sheath and puts it on his belt. And he goes, "Oh, well, I guess you have to wait for the forge to stop making noises." But he puts the shield on his back, and he sheaths the sword, and he goes, Probably at the other dwarves that are like keeping his like raising an eyebrow that I'm picking up a sword.
But he goes, how else am I going to behead my enemies and scalp the drow without a blade?
And he shink, and he puts it into the scabbard.
I'll be back. I love you, Dahlia.
I love you too, Orin.
The next time you see me, I'll be holding our baby girl. I promise you.
Come home soon.
I will.
I can't lose you both.
You won't.
She embraces you as you.
He probably puts his like crying face and like forehead against hers and like looks into her eyes and then starts to blink and like harshly blinks back tears as they drain down, like silently drain down his cheeks and into his big ratted beard. And then he turns, and he kisses her on the forehead, and then he kind of like pinches her cheek and then turns and walks away silently.
Come on, Eldrick.
She kind of turns with you.
We've got tracking to do.
Hey, let's get these bastards. And you guys head off into the Underdark. That was it's a pretty emotional scene. Quick drink, just to replenish the tears. So you head off back into the Underdark. She quickly picks up some trails. You probably ask some people like, where did they go? Which direction were they seen heading in? And the reports say that they were heading north. So Eldriff quickly picks up a few tracks and you start heading off down another set of tunnels. Once again, you become quickly encapsulated by the atmosphere of the Underdark. You're no longer in a city, and you're back to the ever pervasive darkness and dankness of the Underdark. So dank, man. So you head off. At first, these corridors are thick and broad enough for several people to walk down, and then sooner, quickly they become thin and narrow, and it's one by one. And Eldriff probably. Actually, do you lead or does she?
I'm probably leading this time, and she's pointing out which way to go, and I'm probably leading.
Awesome. So as you lead through, roll me a survival check.
Knowing what I should probably put points in. Okay, where is my character?
Greetings, Nix. How's it going?
Hello, Nix. 20, natty 20.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you know exactly where you're going. You
I smell them this way.
Yeah, you probably like hear some like you probably do the Aragorn thing where you like hear some vibrations through the wall and stuff, and you become you become acclimatized to the sound of feet and the group moving, and you turn a tunnel in the Underdark as you kind of there comes to like a crossroads, and you know that this is the way. You come here and roll me a perception check.
Surely, once I remember what window is open that has my character sheets. Perception. Always followed by a 1. Probably walk into a wall.
Damn.
Okay, perfect. So you turn this corner, and let me make a roll real quick. 21 versus your AC.
Yep.
You feel a dart sink into your neck.
Okay.
And then
takes whatever damage.
Yep. And then Eldriff similarly takes a hit. You don't take any damage.
Okay. He tries to I guess, claw at what it was, like a bug or something, and he pulls out.
Yeah.
The
It's a wickedly kind of barbed dart which kind of digs into your skin, and it's the kind that you try and take it out, and you have to kind of like, it's like an arrow point which is kind of like curved, like a it's really nasty barb to get out, and it's rips some blood.
Takes
and
more
skin.
damage to.
Yeah, actually hurts more to take it out than it does going in. Wickedly precise little dart, and you can instantly tell this isn't dwarf make, this isn't goblin make, this is clearly drow marksman merchandise, well, craftsmanship in fact. And so it's what are you doing? You're in a dark tunnel. It's like a corridor. You can't really see anything. You've just been hit, and
I recognize the dart as drow.
Yeah, instantly.
Cool. I think I have like a resistance towards poison because of being a dwarf.
You probably do.
So, but yeah, he recognizes that it's drow make, and then he probably fastens it onto his cleric cloak that he has, or like the cleric shawl that he has over his chains, and he uses that as like a brooch, and like pierces it so it's like holding the ruffles over his and he goes,
Eldrith.
Hey.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Let me get to that.
And he tries to pull the dart out.
Sure, yeah, you can grab it. Yeah, roll me a medicine check.
Just to see how much.
How effective it is. Yeah.
9. So it took
cool.
a minute or two.
Yeah, you take it out, and she kind of winces as it comes out with some blood.
Sorry.
Hey, it's okay. And
he fastens that one again through his through the cloak, kind of just like on as like a badge or something.
Yeah.
All right. Seems like we have 2 drow to kill.
And So what are you doing? You feel those darts.
Where did it came from? Further ahead?
It came from somewhere further ahead in the darkness.
Okay. He takes out the shield and he tries to, if he can, within the room of the narrow space that I have, he wants to try to angle it or do something where it's in front of him, like
cool.
Definitely covering his face. He uses that and just blindly walks forward.
Cool. So roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah. Versus poison.
Yes.
All right. What's my dwarven background?
Find out. There's some
mature.
resistance. Probably is. Right, if you're immune to poison.
Saving throws against poison. I have advantage on saving throws against poison.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
So 10.
Cool. Sweet. So you kind of start to advance with your shield through this cavern, and you start to feel very kind of woozy. You're very lightheaded. Your shield arm starts to drop, and you have to kind of force it to come back up as a real effort of will to bring it up. And you look over at Eldrith, and she's similarly kind of trying to
getting woozy. Yeah,
trying to blink away the double vision, and she says, "Oh, I don't think this is going well." And
you have to try to keep awake.
Oh.
Press on.
It's
a matter of time before we're staring into the dead eyes of the drow.
These guys are gonna make
I'm slugging through.
This guy's gonna make some attacks against you for a 17.
17 hits.
You feel another dart pierce some exposed flesh, wherever that might be, either about your face or maybe your hands, depending if you're wearing.
Probably like in his hand, because he's like his shield is like slowly falling. He's holding it, so it's probably just like he's dragging his shield in front of him, and it probably just hit his wrist or something.
And he just goes, "Hey, I got hit again." You okay, Eldred?
You hear one ping off of her shield. I think they missed mine.
I don't like the look of this.
And you pressing onwards?
Yeah, probably.
I think we should head back.
Tries to like
Maybe we should.
Actually, no. He's probably fueled by the hate.
Yeah.
And he's probably just like, and he tries to press on from there and like try to muster up some strength to just run forward as he charges through this cavern as fast as he can.
Nice. Roll me a Constitution.
Yeah.
You won't have your advantage because you've been doubly poisoned.
Are you sure? Because I rolled a
yeah.
natural 20.
It's pretty nice though. 17.
17.
Perfect number. You you barrel on through. Roll one for what's her name? Eldrith. And she will not have her advantage. She rolled a 20, however, so both of you kind of continue to pile onwards through this, and you see a drow figure in front of you with a he has some kind of
confused because I'm
yeah some kind of blow dart type thing which he places away and then draws a wicked looking blade.
I need that blade.
Okay, so he there's one of them, or there's two of them.
You can only see one at this point.
Okay. Yeah, and he just goes,
Come at me, you dark drow filth.
Nice. Make an attack roll.
yes. Thank you, Herm Aphrodactyl, for donating 2.5 quid. And giving me inspiration. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, dude.
Awesome.
Whoever Hermaphrodactyl really is,
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much,
Bringing
my
us
friend.
to 20 experience.
Hey,
Only
Getting
80
closer.
more for level 6.
getting closer to that Comic-Con dream, boys. And if you guys don't know, there's loads of donation rewards and stuff you can do. You can influence our game down below with inspiration and other things, terrible things. I'll sing you a song. You can do something absolutely crazy. There's loads of stuff going on there. So thanks
It's
once
all
again.
to get us towards Comic-Con. Us,
Comic-Con.
including me, this guy from America, going to London Comic-Con. What up?
It must be Peter.
Must be. But he didn't say hi in chat, so maybe he just showed up and then I said hermaphrodactyl. So who knows? Hey, Drinks Up. Welcome to chat.
Hey, dude. Can you make this as simple as possible for the peasants? Well, don't worry, we're ridiculous as
Yeah.
we're a peasant class as well. So
Will is the narrator, or he is the story writer, and in this novel of an adventure, and then I am the lead character. When there's other players, they are also the lead character. I control my character and the actions of my character. Will is kind of the rules, or not like the moderator, but he moderates the world, and he tells the story, and we both collaborate and tell an awesome story. I'm the main character. I am like the protagonist, and he is everything else. So it's kind of like this. He's
interactive
the author,
story.
and it's an interactive story. He's the author, and I am helping him write the book.
yeah.
That's pretty much what it is.
And London Comic Con 2016. And if it's your first time here, my friends, do hit that follow button. We hit 600 today, which is pretty huge, but we're going to go to 650 next. So please do hit that follow button. Stay tuned with all the things that we're doing. We've got a 24-hour stream coming up on Saturday, so D&D all day that day.
All day, no excuses.
No excuses. So, Myth, you make an attack against this drow.
Yes.
Do you not?
I do.
You do?
With initiatives or no initiatives?
Just roll this. We'll do this out of initiative order. I don't have a map for this.
Okay, so roll an 8. So he
Cool.
probably
So you're kind of
tried
like
really hard, but he's sluggish. Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting real drowsy. You're like every time you succeed, you're kind of like pushing it off for a little bit, and it's kind of dying. Everything's getting heavy. Eldrith, she's not on this map, but she follows along, and she tries to get in a swipe against this guy for 15, which is a hit, and the drow takes 6 damage. So she brings her axe down and cuts him across the forearm, we'll say, and he winces and dashes back to hit you, my friend, Orin, for an 11, which is, I assume, is a miss. I know it is, in fact.
Yep,
Even
that
though,
is a miss. Yep.
So yeah, he misses.
So those of you who are playing along, I was a cleric, but now I'm a paladin. So
Yeah.
in the story, trained to be a cleric, picked up a sword and shield. Now I'm a paladin.
Yeah, boy. So your turn, I suppose.
Yes.
Drowsy.
Yeah.
The fun.
Another Pokemon.
The unintentional fun.
So yeah, he's going to charge and try to lift up, or keep the shield in front of him, and then try to just like from the ground point the tip of the sword up and try to thrust upward under his defenses.
Roll me and have a con save as well.
Here's the attack.
Cool.
Yes.
Nice.
I like that. And then
2 passes.
he what? Oh, she.
Eldrift passes hers. Yeah.
13 and a 13. So guess what?
Nice.
It's a 13.
Really? Okay. So you get in this hit for 20. No, for 7 damage, in fact. Yeah, for 20. So. She, this male drow, in fact, takes his hit, and as you kind of bring your sword down upon him and kind of up, in fact.
Yeah.
I apologize. You bring your sword up.
Okay.
You kind of, as you do so, you kind of you reach your target end, and then, whoa, you fall.
Okay, so it's think, and then I just
Cool. Oh god.
He kind of loses like reality. He's like, "Am I dreaming? I'm not sure." And then he falls to the ground and probably blackness envelops his vision.
Yeah. And you don't know what happens immediately after that. You're probably vaguely aware of fighting going on for a little bit, and then consciousness completely goes. It's black.
Like the camera's like, from my vision, is like blurry and then falls sideways, and I just see footsteps.
Yeah.
A battle, and probably maybe Eldriff slumping as well, and then maybe it's like drow laughter or something. And then I probably just camera blacks out.
Yeah. So the next time we see you, Orin is in chains. He is seemingly in shackles, similarly to how our friends Yuck Yuck and Spiderbait, the 2 goblin merchants from before, were. You look kind of around you, kind of blearily, and it supposedly, it appears that in front of you is Eldriff, and she is similarly enshackled. Her red hair being distinct, although she has none of her like normal clothes on her, and neither do you. You have just kind of like shifts, essentially, very bare minimum kind of garments. It's really chat. Oh dear. And
So there.
Yeah. So there appears to be quite a line of you. You look, you might look behind you, and you can see and hear other slaves of different races. You see what looks like a deep gnome.
Yuck and Spiderbait.
They're there.
Oh, hey there.
All right, mate. How's it going? The maiden is not impressed with how you describe her. She will surely punish me when she's freed, lest I save her. And you see like a deep gnome behind you. You see what looks like an orc behind you from the surface world. You can't really make out any further behind because the orc is so hulkingly big, but there's clearly other people standing behind you and in front of you as well. And there are drow surrounding you. There are a couple of male ones who appear to be insubordinates to a female drow, or drowess, I suppose. And she leads the group. She has a scourge in her hand. She carries herself very arrogantly and proudly. And every now and again, you see like a whip from. You hear the crack of a whip from above as she's punishing one of the slaves for not walking fast enough. And the drow laugh at you, and they make fun of different people. Though, like every now and again, they might trip you up and laugh in their own tongue. You don't speak Elven, do you? Or they speak?
No, he speaks. I have so many windows open.
No, probably not if you're a dwarf, right?
Yeah, no, Dwarven, Common, Goblin, Giant.
Cool. Yeah, you don't understand what they're saying, but you can tell that they're laughing. You can understand their laughter. And you undercommon. Thank you, Joe Colton. I knew it wasn't
Yeah, I
same.
I was thinking no, he wouldn't get on.
I knew it was an Elvish.
I need to get 2 Dwarven languages or 2 Dwarven-based languages, scripted language, because he's an intelligence of 8, and I feel like if he learned another script, it would just be stupid.
Yeah.
So I just chose simple Dwarven stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would have chosen Undercommon.
Cool. So yeah, you these guys laugh and jostle and generally treat you pretty awfully. So you come through into a great wide cavern, and as you come into here, you seem to be pretty elevated because you look down and below there is like this cave floor, and above you there are huge stalactites, no stalagmites in fact.
Stalactites are above.
And they're huge above you, and below this kind of walkway which you're along is almost like bridge. They treat them like slaves. God, that's right. That's thanks for that.
Yeah.
Made me look like a douchebag. Thanks, man. And she, the mistress, she leads the party through here, and you look down, and there are huge spiders' webs everywhere. They're huge, a mass of cobwebs, and you do. Eldrith is in front of you. She's the red-haired dwarf straight in front of you.
Yeah. Okay.
But as you come in here, there's huge spider webs. In fact, you see a few very large, kind of hairy, twitchy feet around, which is they look like huge spider legs. And as you but kind of just twitching here and there, you can't see a full body, but there's clearly spiders around here. Like kind of everywhere there's webs here, and as you look forwards, there appears to be what looks like an outpost. There are walkways, wooden walkways, and Jesus Christ,
Another one,
yeah, I know. There appear to be buildings, watchtowers set up around here, and in the center there is a pen, like a big old cage, which looks like it's holding a few slaves already, and one would assume that's where you might be headed for next. There are the troll-like quaggoths that you can start to make out either side of you, and as you kind of come into like an entranceway, a gateway, I hate saving throw show. As you come into this first gateway, the mistress Drow, she stops sees you walk by, and she kind of grabs you by the chin to kind of inspect you. And she's very tall. She's much taller than you. Of course, you're a dwarf, and she is one of the elven races. So she looks down upon you in more ways than one, and she speaks in the common tongue, which I assume you'd understand how to speak. Do you speak common, or do you not speak common?
I don't.
You don't speak it? No. If you're a dwarf, you would speak. If you're a dwarf in the Broken Kingdoms, you speak common.
No, he speaks common.
Yeah. So, yeah, that would have been awkward. So I have no idea. I was trying to give you plots, but now you know. She grabs you by the chin, looks down upon you, and she says, "You, dwarf."
You, cunt. Careful of my beard.
She slaps you across the face and then whips you with Scourge, her whip, a Scourge whip, several times. And that's pretty painful. There's a lot of blood drawn. And she says, "What is your name, impertinent dwarf?"
Doesn't matter.
Well.
What's yours?
Mistress Ilvara.
Well, Mr. Silvara, that's a name I won't forget.
And what is the name of your daughter? The she-bitch we stole.
Her name doesn't matter to you either, because you won't live long enough to see her again.
I think you will be the one that will not live to see her again, little dwarf. Take him away. And two of these male drow kind of pick you up, and they give you a few punches in the stomach to wind you, and then take you off into the pen, where you find yourself with your other prisoners, and also Eldrith, your friend, is there. She looks pretty kind of bruised and battered. And you're in this kind of menagerie of other slaves and races, and she says, "You're right. You okay? I think they broke a rib.
What?
Are you okay?"
I will be. More than I feel him. I feel him in my heart.
She said she had.
He's fueling me.
She said you had Mithril. I've forgotten her name.
Mithrilla.
Hey, Mithrilla. She said she had Mithrilla. Did you? Is that true?
I don't know. Hopefully she's speaking of another dwarf. But whomever's daughter it is, I'll avenge her and find her and return her home.
We need to get out of here, man.
I know.
How big is the cage?
Moradin's beard.
It's like rubbing the.
It's quite
swollen
large.
wounds.
It's quite large. It's big enough to hold probably like 20 people uncomfortably. So yeah, it's like the size of a large room probably.
Does anybody know how to pick locks?
You look around. The other prisoners appear to be kind of battered and bruised and kind of keeping themselves to themselves. And Eldrith says, "We're gonna have to work on getting these guys on side if we want to break out." Wait, look, and she kind of points over to the distance, and the gates open, and there's a whole new load of prisoners to come in, amongst which are next week's player characters.
Nice.
So that is where we will actually end this very first episode of Out of the Abyss, as Orin finds himself trapped in this cage with a lot of other slaves, and with no yet means of escape, no means of hope, but somewhere out there he knows that his daughter is hopefully alive, possibly captured by the drow, if she hasn't been freed or killed or who knows what. So that is where we finish.
I don't know who you are.
I don't know who you are. I don't know why I did a cane. I don't know who you are, mate.
I don't know who you are.
I don't know who you are. But yeah, this is all quite Taken, which it's Taken in D&D, which I very much enjoyed. So yeah, that is the end of this first session, guys. What did you think? How did you enjoy our first foray into the Underdark? I certainly had a fun time exploring this. How did you feel, Matt?
I had a lot of fun. I love Dwarven culture. I also love Drow culture, so this is awesome. Love the Underdark. I just love the dark, creepy mystery that is either traveling in the Underdark is really cool too. Because you never know really where you are when you think you actually know where you are. You're like, okay, I'm in this location, but where does that actually mean?
Yeah.
And anything could be around any corner, which is so cool. It's just this giant labyrinthian darkness. But anyway, love it. So cool. I'm really excited to meet the other characters and to sink my teeth in the actual module of Out of the Abyss. I had a lot of fun today finding my character. Like this morning I made the character and was like very vague about like what I wanted, and then Will and I kind of thought of this cool story that we can probably make happen, and loved every moment in how and where the character is coming, so and where he's going to be going. So I think it's really cool. I'm excited to meet everybody in the cage too.
Me too. Yeah. Cleric says, applause, well done, gentlemen. Thank you very much, Cord.
Thank you.
Ben says, well done. Flynn, great session, boys. Very promising start to a very promising story. Thank you. I hope so. Rem says, wow. Xavier Roach says, nice, only caught the last 20 minutes, but always lovely Underdark stuff. Yeah, I mean, time zones are a thing of us, but we've got another 24-hour stream coming up on Saturday, which I hope to see you guys there, or at least you, Dom.
This whole episode will be up later on YouTube anyway, in our newest playlist of season 1, or not season 1, I guess it'd just be the Out of the
that would be. I mean,
so,
Hermaphrodactyl says, all hell the octopus. Thank you. Brings wasabi. Yeah, I know. But remember, guys, on our 24-hour stream, we're coming on Saturday the 26th. It's this Saturday. We are giving away a copy of the Player's Handbook for 5th edition. So come along and get a copy of this. Signed by me. Come along and get a copy, maybe for yourself, maybe for a friend that you want to introduce to D&D, maybe for someone in the group that doesn't just have one, so 24 hours stream is coming up on Saturday. I want in says Guinea. Well, we are actually full of player slots at the moment. We have been preparing this for a couple of weeks, so next time we do one, which will probably be in next month, then shoot me a message and you can get involved. Anyone can get involved. And there's a video game coming up as well. There's so much stuff happening. It's pretty exciting.
Got a lot of streamers, a lot of your friends on stream are on the D&D category. We got TGM, Min-Maxers, Maffin TV, Delinear as well from delinear.wordpress.com. So yeah, we've got a whole bunch of our nerdy Twitch friends are going to be coming along and helping us out and playing with us, which is going to be a lot of fun. So come along, say hi to your favorite friends. Also stick around and watch us. But yeah,
and
it'll be
help
a lot
us
of fun.
Not die.
Exactly.
Last time we did. And also a huge thank you for 600 followers that we hit today. That was pretty huge, pretty exciting. Every now and again, it kind of hits me like, oh yeah, that's 600 people in the world. That's odd. But that's really, really cool. And we had a great viewer decisions today. So the next one's at 650. And then we'll be up to 700, and there'll be 1,000, there'll be 1,000,000 of us, and we'll rule the planet. So any day now. So thank you guys as always for watching, for coming along, chatting, you guys.
And it wasn't really much of a game changer, but the viewer vote was goblin merchants enslaved by drow slavers. So
yeah, that was a lot of fun. And there was one drow which escaped, and there are the 2 goblin characters which are also off somewhere, having escaped, and they will no doubt be encountered at some point during our adventures next week. But remember, guys, we are back tomorrow night at the same time. That's 9 p.m. BST, 4 p.m. EST. And as ever, we will be doing Dungeons and Dragons. It's a new game. Once again, it's the West Marches. I'll be running a West Marches style game. With Josh, we'll be doing his kind of introduction to this story. Not kind of an origin thing, more like another episode like this of 0.5, how he first gets into this adventure. So that's going to be really fun, and we're going to have guests on that show every week, hopefully, starting the week after this one. So things to remember: this tomorrow night's game and Saturday's 24-hour stream. So Cord strength to you too, Cord. As always, I'm sure you have a lot of it. And until then, guys, try not to roll too many nat ones. Try not to get your children captured by the drow in the Underdark, because it's kind of a bummer when it happens. And we want to be there laughing when you do. So from myself, Will, from Encounter Roleplay, and Myth from Encounter Roleplay, go follow his Twitch at twitch.tv/Mythmatic. And we are at Encounter RP on Twitter. You can win some gold on Facebook if you like us. Winner's gonna be drawn on Saturday, and there's also the artwork thing happening. You can find out more info on that on Facebook. But until then, guys, have excellent weekends. not even weekends. Have excellent Wednesdays. And we'll see you tomorrow night at the same time. Thank you for watching, guys.